And welcome to Proverbs Guys Ministries. I am one of your hosts, Stephen Andrew. We are also joined by the lovely, beautiful Achilles. I'm kidding. Krista,
Oh,
my wife. She's right here by my
okay.
side.
Hola.
And you know him as Heart of Stone / Heart of Flesh from Ezekiel 36:26, but we know him as our lovable Greek brethren from across the ocean, Achilles.
The best Greek ever.
The best. All
Hello,
other Greeks suck compared to
everybody.
our Greek. No offense, Achilles.
How's
I don't know
everybody
any
doing?
other Greeks, but
Am
even
I
if I
on?
knew a bunch of them, he'd still be my favorite.
Wait, what?
We
Why
hear
are
you now.
Oh, hi. Hello, everybody.
No, they heard you, but I didn't because I had my screen muted again.
Once a noob, always a noob. That's what they are saying.
That's why I never pick on Dan. I get it.
So, how's everybody today? We
You know what?
decided,
That's a good way to start this off.
I don't know, by saying that we took this decision to burn everything, and we're about to say a couple of things that are not gonna be making us very popular with a group that, although they want to be called Christians, they're also nationalists. And I would like somebody, and it's not just Americans with this whole new election that we have going on. It is also here. I've been struggling with this for years, with people going back to paganism in Greece, because that was Greek, and they want everything Greece. And they're like, Christianity was brought to us by the Jews. We're gonna go back to Zeus worship. I'm like, oh God, God. I mean, how long till the end? How long am I going to have to suffer with this? So at least I hope that people don't take it like personally. To some extent, they should, because the Bible is a personal book for each and every soul out there, and our relationship to God and the ways that Satan tricks us. But I can't hear people saying, "Oh, he just hates Americans." No, I just love the Bible and what it says. So you should
Well,
never let me intro things, bro.
but
What is that from The Office? Oh no, I am saying the things.
oh yeah, Krista used to just put her hand over my mouth and say, "Things are coming out, words are coming out," and I'd be like, "Okay."
Mostly in the middle of streaming, I would put my hand over your mouth and say, words are coming out.
Now, Achilles, this episode is not going to make us very popular, but not with like atheists. This episode is not going to make us very popular with our quote unquote own kind. This episode will not be popular with Christians. And that is because Christians have been, for some reason, brought up with this mentality that nationalism, specifically Christian nationalism, is a good thing and that we should strive for it and that you can worship the flag and Jesus. You just don't call the worship to the flag worship.
We call it being a patriot.
Patriotic is a great word that we use teaching our children growing up. And why this episode will not be popular is because even though this is a divided opinion on Proverbs Guys Ministries, multiple hosts have different opinions. It is my opinion, and I believe it is Brother Achilles' opinion, and we will let Krista define her opinion, that you cannot be a Christian nationalist. You cannot have two masters, and the fact that we would want to mix those two in such a way is scary. What would say you two?
Ladies first.
Greeks first.
Ah, got me.
She says age before beauty.
Okay. So the white hair on me say this. First off, for I made a video back in 2018 that I was saying that I've walked some streets of the US and I gave out the states that I walked in. It wasn't just California, I walked in many other states. And I said the one thing I noticed about Americans is how patriotic they are, which is good as long as they understand where the word is coming from. And I break it down for them because it comes from the word patrida, which means homeland. And as a nation, the US is not so much about its own homeland. I mean, it's defending the interests of the homeland, but wherever that can be all over the world. And we are now at times where I don't know if you guys have ever seen maybe clips from the film of 1970s, 1976, I think it was, called The Network. Um, there is a scene in there where the CEO of a channel sits down a presenter and explains to him, shouting, like he needs to be worshipped as God, the head of the channel, because he's working for the masters and there are no countries anymore. The masters are the big companies, the tech giants, and all the channels are working for the giants. So in 50 years that we've gone from 1976 to 2026, it is insane that I see people that they still don't acknowledge that. They don't appreciate this. They don't see it happening around them. But to put some semicolon in what I'm saying, um, you cannot have two masters, as my brother said. This world will perish because it belongs to Satan, and those that worship him through money, which is the root of all evil. And if that didn't happen, then there would be no reason for this world to burn. So, are all the nationalists out there, and I'm referring to Americans, which is the main uh, news about nationalism right now worldwide, but also Greeks, because I don't know if Germans are being any nationalistic lately. I don't know if the Italians are nationalistic lately, but we remember what happened when they were. And the Japanese, we just call them that because it's a bad word. Um, so nationalism, especially when you get a lot of power, uh, never ends up to something good. And yeah, it's time we address that because we've been going around discussing this, and people are like, well, you have this leftist idea. It's not a leftist idea. And even if it is, um, yeah, I don't know. I'll just stop here for now. I said too much. I'll see. I'll take a sip from my coffee.
Well, Robin came in here to tell us why we're wrong. So let's hear it.
Why we wrong? Hello, Robin.
I don't think that's why I came. I don't know. I got something that said Steven's waiting for you. I don't know. What does that mean? Like I get was I supposed to be on?
Who said that?
I don't know. I got some kind of notification. I thought maybe I was supposed to be on.
Oh,
So
no? But welcome.
okay. Well, I can leave if you want me to.
I do not in
No,
any
you're
way
welcome.
want you to leave.
Okay.
I think your perspective is very much appreciated on this episode. As an outsider that's looking into our community, what goes through your mind whenever you see things about Christian nationalism?
Um, I think it's unconstitutional. That's what goes through my mind. I think it's unconstitutional. Um, I think that that's not what our founders intended for there to be um, a government that was um, partial to one religion or the one thing I concerns me about this that I've never been able to make some Christians understand is there's a lots of different denominations of Christianity. Um, you've got the Catholics, and then you've got the Protestants, and then you've got all the different Protestant divisions. And if you look in the history of the world, those there's been a lot of not getting along between a lot of them, even between the Protestants. You know, and we learned it, like in my our debate. I talked about how the Puritans burnt the Quakers at the stake, and both of those were Christian Protestant sects of the same religion. So, and so, which one's going to be in charge? Like, which denomination is going to be in charge? Which denomination is going to be the one that is in charge? And it's so
What's
if
interesting, Robin, is that our perspectives on why both of us are concerned with Christian nationalism and the rise of it are for two completely different reasons. Like you just laid out a reason that I had never considered before, and my reason would be, you ever heard that old Christian song, I'm in the Lord's Army? I may never march in the infantry, ride in the cavalry, shoot the artillery, but I'm in the Lord's army. And it makes you think, has there ever been a time in history when you could belong to two different armies at the same time without being a spy? Because in Jesus' army, we're told to love our enemies and to do good to our enemies. And with the Christian nationalism, the conservative Republican army, we're told to tear our enemies down and can't let any of their ideas spread because it's all a cancer. Though I agree that the left is turning communistic, which is a cancer, and socialistic, which is also a cancer in my opinion. But it bothers me that we think we can belong so entrenchedly to two different armies. And welcome, CSAL.
Hi, thank you for allowing me up here, guys and lady.
Hello, hello, Cecil. I was just responding to you in the chat, but it's great to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be here. If I can say something really quick because my phone overheats so easily and I'm still
Go.
waiting for my new phone.
Uh,
Um
Absolutely.
so I I understand what the Bible says. We're not of this world and do not love the things of this world. And we are citizens of a heavenly country in heaven, of the country of our Father in heaven, right? So I understand that. But as at the same time, having family, most of my family in Mexico, I see how evil and how horrible it can be to be born in.
You got out, Cecil.
oh,
Okay, I think you're back.
Oh, can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, now we
Yes,
can
we
hear
hear
you.
you.
Sorry. So yeah, so I'm thankful that I was born in this country. I am grateful because of the opportunities. My cousins don't have the same opportunities I do. I could go to school, become a doctor, and make 200,000.
oh,
Yeah, you got out again. And these are important points. I too am glad to be born in a country where rights are being respected, in contrast to countries that are not. And I'm surrounded by them. There are Muslim countries around me, and I am happy to be born here. I'm very proud to be Greek. Greek. I'm not. I'm not saying no, but I don't want to respond like I'm responding to Cecil now that she got out. Um, let's wait for her to manage to come back. Do you remember, Stephen, what Dan used to do when he first started streaming, getting here with us? That his phone, when his phone was overheating.
He would end broadcast
Yeah. No.
all the time.
No, he would open up the fridge and put his phone in the fridge, and he was talking
In the
from
fridge.
with the open door of the fridge.
Can, can I just respond maybe to something that I thought maybe Seasal was saying?
Yeah.
Yes, I hope she's listening. She says,
Um, she's
she
in
typed,
chat.
yeah,
She's in
so
chat.
she might be. Okay.
Like, I think that one of the reasons why this country, why you can be glad that you were born here is because of our Constitution, and it is because of the way that our government was structured. Um, I think that's the best part about this country. Um, I think that that was an intentional act on our founding fathers to protect our country, this nation, from the type of um, persecution that can occur when you go to a different system.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. It is true that if you have any specific like group, religious group, even if I am a Christian, even if you have a Christian nation, um, people will start getting cornered to leave the US if they're not of that religion, and that is not by the definition of Christianity. This is not what a Christian should do.
Yeah, well, like so let's say that they Christian like that's why I mean when you say that like we become a Christian nation, which like division of Christianity is that? Like let's say that the Catholic religion is the one in charge because we do have like right now we have seven Catholics on the Supreme Court, um, and um, JD Vance is a Catholic. So if he was to become president, then let's say that we have that. Is that is that going to
Not to mention, Robin, for the first time in history, an American pope.
yes. So I mean, and I'm not picking on the Catholics. Like I'm just using that as a division, like to count.
Let the record reflect that Robin hates Catholics.
No, no,
I
no.
thought she said I heard her.
Okay,
Okay.
but let's just say that the Catholics are the Christianity that becomes. What does that say? What does that mean for the Protestant ones? Are like,
We will be burned at the stake again.
well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if we'll do burning at the stake again, but like, there is a level of persecution that is possible.
Yes,
You're
but
telling me. Go ahead, Achilles.
isn't that what the U.S., what the pilgrims ran from? Didn't they run from the Catholic Church? For me, it is very weird to see people like J.D. Vance saying, I'm a Catholic, and not saying I'm a Christian.
Well,
So it looks to me like even if that were to happen, it would be the wrong Christianity.
I don't
Like,
believe they would all be wrong, though. Like because because of the founding
no,
fathers.
yeah, that's another point. But, talking about which one would take hold, and that could be like the Catholic Church, I think that is wrong by the definition of the whole history of the US. But then you add the Constitution, and I'm with you. I don't think that Americans are mature to have a Christian um, government, like
I
get
don't
rid
think
of,
they are anymore, Achilles.
right? They would kick out like everybody else and be like, you convert to Christianity or you leave the country, and that's not what a Christian should do.
Yeah,
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 and there is a danger with Christian nationalism leading to a theocracy, which we do not want. We want no part of a theocracy. We broke away from a theocracy with the Church of England. It's a terrible concept and it does not represent Christian values. But my biggest concern with Christian nationalism is the danger and very easy stumbling block of idolatry. And Americans and the Greeks are already prone to idolatry, especially national idolatry, right? On the 4th of July, we love our fireworks. We teach our children the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance. And we wear red, white, and blue all year round. And we even have American flag boxers. Like, we are so prone to idolatry that we all but worship the Statue of Liberty.
Yes, and actually, the going back to the boxer thing, um, like according to the flag code, you're not actually supposed to make clothes out of the flag. That actually is desecration of the American flag. Like we, a lot of people don't live by that anymore. But like Kid Rock with his all his flag outfits and stuff. If you get a copy of the flag code, which I have somewhere here, to make clothing out of it is considered desecration of it too. So I'm not big on the flag clothes either. But
Now here's another, just because we had this moment of stalling, let me add another aspect
okay,
of, I would like to hear your opinion on this, because you've been around Christians, um, new Christians, I mean in age, right? Here on YouTube, like this channel, other channels, you see different denominations, you see different opinions. Do you think, my dear atheist friend, that Trump is a Christian, or is he playing Christians?
do I don't, of course I can't read his mind, thank goodness. I don't want to try to read his mind, but like no, I don't think that I, I really don't think that Trump believes in God. I don't.
He
I,
believes in a God, all right, but that God is what the Bible tells us: money.
yeah, but so I've never, but like I can't read his mind, so he could. But he's never claimed to be any sort of religious person. I think he's way too narcissistic to think of something higher than himself. Even though he has been talking about whether he's going to get in heaven. So as he gets older and gets closer to time to die, there might be something that's scaring him now. I don't know.
Can I answer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
I definitely don't think Donald Trump is a Christian.
Yeah.
But well, my reason why is probably different than other people's reasons why. But there's a video, and they ask him, has there ever been a time in his life where he's prayed and asked God for his forgiveness? And he
Yes.
says that he doesn't think that there is a need for him to ask God for his forgiveness. So by definition, no, I would not say that Donald Trump is a Christian.
I've
I would.
also seen
You're right.
I've seen several videos also where he has said stuff about, well, this will get me into heaven. This, what I just did, this will surely get me. And no, nothing you think is good will get you into heaven. The only thing that will get you into heaven is a relationship with Jesus Christ because he's your savior.
And if Christian, they called them Christians because they were imitators of Christ, is a derogatory term, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing about Donald Trump that imitates Christ or the love of Christ.
No, except
So,
he thinks he thinks he's a like he thinks he's a martyr, but that's not that he's imitating Christ. But yeah, I mean, to me, he thinks of himself as the Christ, actually.
I mean, that's one of my biggest issues with him, honestly, is because, like, okay, I have never seen, I'm not that old, but I have never seen people worship a man the way that he is worshipped, literally worshipped. Like Trump our savior, Trump this, Trump memes with angel wings coming, like it's insane. Like yeah, it's crazy.
AI depictions of him as a golden statue.
Yeah, it's wow.
And yeah, and Christians don't even like uh, cringe with this. They're like, it's normal.
Well,
Man.
he's compared to like a certain king. Who is it? Who was
Not
Nebuchadnezzar.
not?
her.
Uh, no, there's a king that starts with
Solomon.
Silas or Cyrus or not. there's like if you go in, like I'll go in sometimes and read in these like these like fringe sort of QAnon group things and see what they're saying, and they call him King Silas, I think it is Silas
Oh,
maybe.
Cyrus. Yeah, the
Cyrus,
great.
okay, that like that they was like God worked through Cyrus, even though Cyrus wasn't a man of God. Cyrus, that God worked through Cyrus. Is that, am I getting the story about halfway right there?
God used Cyrus to release the children of Israel. No, I'm sorry, the children of Judah, so that they could return home.
Yeah.
God used him to fulfill the prophecy about the Jews returning back after exile, and
So a
he
lot,
was the one God used to bring it to fruition.
so even the ones that, even the Christians that follow him, no, this is not all of them either. This is just a little fringe group of it, because a lot of them think that he is a Christian. But these other fringe groups, even though they think that he's not a Christian, they think that God is using him as a tool to get them in power. Um,
Well,
like you gotta sit and wonder though why these people want to be in power so bad. Like because like you said,
Yeah, yeah, the ones that scream for power the loudest are the ones that pop up the biggest red flags. Like, oh man, you are so desperate for power. What do you? I'm very terrified. You want power so bad. What are you about to do? What are you about to unleash? What war are you about to get us into? I'm scared to death.
what she said.
Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
the phantom person that's not here.
And how far are you willing to let your morals deteriorate to get that power?
Not very far.
I have a hard time believing. I think I've told Stephen this before, but I have a hard time believing that there are true Christians in high places of government. I just have a hard time believing it because I don't know. I feel like the higher up you go, the more of your morals you have to sell to get to the top. Like, I believe that there are people that started out with good Christian morals and good Christian intent, but were they Christians? If Yeah, I feel like if they were, they walked away from the faith by the time they made it to the top. That's
Or
just
walk
my
or walked away from politics? Like,
yeah, that too.
Yeah, it's hard.
um,
It's hard to tell what is in people's hearts, but like
Well, I mean, yeah and no because I mean, someone's true intentions can only be covert for so long before, and that's what I feel like we're seeing with Trump. Quite honestly, like I feel like he said the right things to tickle the ears of the right people at the very beginning to get all of their votes, but look at what he's doing. Okay, like maybe his first, term in office, or whatever was good, but good grief, he's went back on half of, not, if not all of what he said in this second term as president.
but then what is disappointing is that although as he started showing his true face, I was expecting Christians to say what I've heard some, a very minority, say, I voted for him, but I no longer like him. I regret that vote, but I didn't have any other choice. I get that. I I will be happy to hear somebody admit that. But you see people supporting their vote, no matter what he does. So I don't know. Do we really have to put this in simple layman terms for them to understand that this is not what we should do? And taking out the idol worship, we're talking about somebody who is bullying nations.
well,
You
like
know,
you have to kind of understand the money behind all this too. Like
Exactly.
the people who own Pepsi, okay, the family that owns Pepsi is one of the biggest thunders of the Christian nationalist push. These people are billionaires. You know what I mean? Like they are billionaires. They live behind a. They have the people at Pepsi have a huge like concrete wall around their compound, um, and they live in and why? What is their motivation for wanting this Christian nationalist government? And it doesn't, to me it doesn't. it doesn't look good. Like it doesn't have any kind of Christ-like intentions behind it. I have a hard time believing that any billionaire is actually a Christian myself.
That's what I'm trying to say because like money corrupts, and I just find it hard to believe that if you have billions and billions of dollars, that your morals to get the billions and billions of dollars were ethical. And we know from history that his did not come from ethical means, most of it.
Yeah, well, but like I'm talking about, these are people who claim to be Christians all their lives, like the Pepsi people or something like that. And I just don't feel like that if you are a real Christian that you would have billions of dollars to begin with. Like I understand making sure you got enough money to take care of your family and stuff, but when we have people who actually sleep on the streets and die every year from exposure or starvation, and you have billions of dollars that you're hoarding, I have a hard time considering you a Christian.
Well, I mean, look at the disciples and the way their lives ended and the type of lives they lived on earth. Were theirs marked by popularity and being rich? No, they were poor, and what they did have, they gave away, even though it wasn't much.
Yeah,
So,
I've been researching all this for me and Stephen's upcoming debate on the Second Amendment, and so yeah, it's like up until Constantine adopted Christianity um, as a state religion, the the church had a totally different outlook on any kind of thing like this.
Yeah. And what's interesting to me is that so much about ancient Israel aligns with the U.S. and how we respond to certain calamities and situations. And ancient Israel had always been plagued with a problem of nationalism. They had probably one of the most well documented uh, empires that came very close to being a theocracy in the way that it was as Judea nationalist as you could possibly get. Same thing that we're striving, not we, I'm not, but others are striving for with Christian nationalism here. And it didn't end well for ancient Israel. God rebuked them and punished them every time greatly. And America, Christians specifically, I believe, are calling those judgments and rebukes and calamities upon ourselves. And God's going to hit us in the financial sector first. And then he's going to hit us in our food supply. And he's going to really bring us to our knees because of the way we've turned Christian nationalism into idolatry.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of, you know, God allowed us to live in this country. Yes, God gave us all the rights that we have. Yes, God allowed us to be free. Yes, but instead of turning around and thanking Him, we thank ourselves and say, "Oh, America, how wonderful America is." And God's like, "You forget that every blessing that you have is from my hand." But yeah, go ahead, praise your country.
Yeah.
And may I add to what all three of you just said? So if some people think that God is using Trump to bring this country to, a better tomorrow, why can't he use him to bring upon the calamities that the nationalism has invited? So I think that what we are seeing is not going to happen by God himself. It's happening through men that we elect, and we deserve them because we don't see through to their true motives. Like, how can you think that a man that has a golden house, like his house is completely golden, even to the toilet is 24 carats. How can you think that that man working for Bezos, Zuckerberg, every major tech
Oh,
company is working for you.
yeah, and well, and the Koch brothers,
Oh
and
shit, they're
um,
coming. I can hear them. Okay.
yeah, the Koch brothers, and the like I said, the Pepsi people, like there, Elon Musk, who is the
Yeah,
richest
I
man.
forgot about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah.
It's
That's
fun.
I live
It's
in
funny.
Rhinestone, so I get a lot of sirens.
It's funny. At some point, they fought. The two of them fought, and Elon went on Twitter and said Trump is in the files. And the thing is that from the original visitor list that we have, Elon Musk is also in the files.
Yes, of course he was. That's why he knew Trump was.
Right? They were together.
Yeah, I think Elon's father was too, right, or something. I think.
I don't know. I don't know. We have a
But
new release, and it's taking over world media with the names and the videos and the emails. It's so shocking.
yep.
And here's my view, guys. I hope that at least one person out there, one, is gonna say, I'm afraid he's right. So in the Bible, we have commandments, but we also have suggestions. So I'm going to say something, and there is a suggestion about this. Now, a suggestion, if you don't follow it, it's bad for you. It's not a matter of salvation, right? But God is warning us, at least the Bible is warning us. I'm saying I'm making that clear because Robin is here, and but the Bible does say that there is going to be this mystery Babylon, which is going to fall, and every trader on the earth is going to cry. A lot of people think that that's the Catholic Church, but I don't understand how traders would have an issue with that. So I've been saying for quite some time that I think it is the US. And as it is falling, you have people supporting it and Christians. But the suggestion that the Bible gives is get away from her, my children. Run away from her. Leave. Maybe you don't want to leave, you can stay, but you are going to suffer the consequences of a fallen empire, which is going to start with the way we're seeing it start, with divide and conquer, have the people fight amongst each other. Because I think that's what we're seeing. And the more we can wake people up to at least walk away from her in their minds. You don't have to move, just detach. Detach from this false dichotomy dichotomy that is taking place. Detach from it and saying, I know that they are not Christians, but those that are telling me are Christians, they're not acting Christian. Therefore, I separate myself from this. I don't know. Why is it so hard? It is hard because they didn't achieve this from one day to the next. One party uses the other, and they opened up the borders so all these problems can come in and have the issues so people can run out of patience, and they've measuring and they're looking at numbers and they're like, now is the time, now they're ready. So I'm not saying people are evil, I'm saying people have been duped, and it's not just there, it's happening here too. We have nationalistic parties that are showing us every evil thing that our government is doing, but they don't call themselves Christians, they call themselves Orthodox. They never use the word Christian because the word Christ is in there. And Greeks don't see that difference. I mean, I was an Orthodox Christian, but when I was being asked, I never said I'm Orthodox. I always said I'm a Christian. If I got asked further, what kind of a Christian, what denomination, I would say born Orthodox. Now I have a better view of what I would say, but they're not doing it by accident. They know what they're talking about. And the same thing happens with those that are running the show in the US right now. They don't say they're Christian. There was one that was Christian, and now we're grieving him. He wasn't in the government, but he helped this government come up. He said the word Jesus, and he's the only one that got shot. So I'll rest my case for now.
I feel like once Dan joins the room, you guys are going to be duking it out, Achilles.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Have you seen this comment?
Oh,
He says Achilles is totally stupid and incorrect.
Oh, we did not. I didn't
ordaining
say that. That's not what he said. Did he?
globalism, which we know
Yeah,
one will go. Yes, that is coming. But
you're
for it to
starting
come,
a thought.
I have a book which is very hard to get in if you are outside the US. It's called Bones in the Game, and it was written by an American admiral um, in the 50s. And it says how every nation is going to fall for the New World Government to stand. If you
Ah,
have succeeding nations, it can't work. So you have to have them fall. And it says that they're going to use religion and anti religion for the fight. That was written in the 50s.
well, I mean, let me just say that, like, that's this kind of they were already doing this, but like, I think that the people who want to be in power, like the people in the world, the billionaires are global, like people, like they have, yeah, they're billionaires here, but their money isn't here. They just store their money somewhere else a lot of times, um, and they're like they don't owe anything to a country, so they can they just use our economy. They use our market to benefit them, and the
Right.
the way that they come to power and what they're using is like that's how they've gotten to be able to get people to vote is because they've used Christians. They've claimed to be Christians, and they've used Christians, and they've used issues that they know affect Christians and that Christians worry about. And so they pretend that they're like on the side of that, but they're not. They're using Christianity as a tool to get them in power. And
Very well said, dear. Very
yeah,
well said.
and
And
that's the way it's all. I mean, even the mustache man used religion as somewhat to get himself into power, even though I don't think he was that religious, but he used that kind of language.
no, but that's what he did too.
Yeah.
He started taking some propaganda pictures of him walking out of a church so he can take the Christians, the German Christians, with him,
Yes.
and think that he's a spiritual
Yes.
guy who actually went like 100% against the Jews. Like, and the thing is that back then, they didn't have history to know about it. Now we do. Like, it's the same thing happening again. And back then, they had an excuse. Oh, it was our first time.
But it was.
Now, can we really excuse ourselves that way anymore?
But it wasn't really the first time. Like if you look back through world history, um, religion has been used to gain power many times and to
Yeah, true.
persecute. Yeah, and that's the main thing that I fear. Like I don't fear just for me as a non-believer in a Christian nationalist. Um, I don't think that people understand though that everybody has these different ideals of what Christianity is, of these different things. And if one of them gets in power, that will be the one And if you disagree with them on on different aspects of Christianity, then you'll be persecuted. It's my sleeping.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't know. I keep hearing it's my breathing real hard.
Oh, well, forget you, Robin.
Is that you?
Yeah, I have my microphone up too loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's Terry.
Coming here, there. Oh, she's here. Okay. Hi.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Terry. Hello, beautiful Terry.
Hola, hola. Hello.
Pretty
I
hair.
love your hair.
This hair. Thank you.
What?
Okay.
Jamie said.
Wait a minute.
Jamie.
What is this comment Dan has up?
Right, that's the issue. Like you start talking about both parties, and the right one starts attacking you like you're supporting everything that the other party says. Like,
Dan, lying on lying on your fellow brother is also a sin. Like,
oh, very well said, Robin.
thank you.
Yeah, I'll also say no one can accuse me of being a liberal. I'm like a fourth generation conservative Republican, or I was, and I worked for the Republican National Committee and the Make America Great Again Committee. Like, I've done my part, but I have also seen behind the scenes how the hot dogs are made with Republicanism and how it really is like a religion, and completely reject republicanism now. I'm a conservative, but I am no longer a Republican, and I don't apologize for that.
Well, I mean, you can be a I mean, like right now, I don't agree with the Republican Party, but I think that I was Republican for until like about a month ago, actually, from the time I was 18, so almost 40 years. But um, I don't know. I can't believe Dan. I just can't believe Dan put that comment in that.
You know, let me add something to what you're saying, Robin. Um, the only time in my life, in my 45 years of living, that I understood where the Republican voters are coming from was when I turned Christian and I started seeing the the difference between the left and the right when it comes to that matter, which I think
What,
the
what
right
what's, what's the specific things though that you're talking about? Like what
the,
specific thing?
that what I'm trying to get to is that when I wasn't uh, literally an agnostic, all right, I felt like I believed in God, but I wasn't nothing fancy about it. I just didn't know. I was like, we'll see if there is a God or not. Like I didn't believe. I was in the US and I just couldn't take Republicans
But
at all.
what's
Ever. It was the Bush times
but what
and
specific thing do the Republicans do that supports that is more Christian?
today I don't think I can see anything. I'm just trying to say that the only time in life that I started understanding the the essence of the Republican side is when I understood Christianity a little better. Until then, I just couldn't take hearing any Republican
Are
like
you guys
Fox.
going to address this comment and
Oh,
then
well,
let
then I don't know.
Terry rip you a new one?
And
Who?
25
Why
Christian
do
national.
I gotta rip somebody a new one?
Because you disagree with us. You think that Christian
No.
nationalism is God sent and that we're going to hell for feeling the way we do.
Hey, I didn't agree to take that position in this debate.
Yeah, and I'm going to. She knows I'm going to hell anyway, so it don't matter.
I
Well,
don't
you were going because of your lack of belief in Jesus.
believe in OSAS. I don't believe you're going to hell.
That was a joke, Terry. I was kidding.
Okay.
I don't believe I'm going to hell either, but I was just
Well, I
making.
know you don't believe it, but I don't
Oh,
even
yeah,
believe. Yeah,
you're
I know
definitely going, though. We
anyway.
love you. I don't want you to go. I want you to come home. But yeah, without Jesus, you're going without a question. Gonna fry. sizzling
Well,
bacon.
I just know life with Jesus is better than life without him. That's all I'm saying. But
Oh yeah, hope.
I'm not gonna pretend I know what's gonna happen to you or how on Judgment Day.
I know. I said that, not you.
Yeah,
Okay,
God sees people's
I'm just
heart.
making a joke. I know I'm getting like
We
silly.
can't.
I love how Dan is kind of pinning us in a corner, though. Like, if we're not Christian nationalists, we have to agree with abortion and trans kids and human trafficking and drug trafficking. Like, that's kind of extreme, Dan.
Okay, drug trafficking. Speaking from the man who, your president, Dan, um, released a one of the main drug dealers ever, like millions.
Pardoned him.
Yeah, yeah. Pardon him. So,
Yeah.
like
And
Dan.
then he went on and arrested Maduro.
Wasn't it a Republican controlled CIA that funneled crack cocaine into the inner cities to cause a cocaine addiction to help collapse the African communities?
Yes.
Right? And Panama
I
and
I don't
Mexico.
think I was supposed to say that.
Is
I
that
mean, they've made movies out of it, like with Tom Cruise. I don't remember the title, but I watched it recently.
Die Hard.
No,
No,
it wasn't. No.
no.
a stapler? No. Yeah, I got all kinds of papers.
Give him two pieces of paper, each one better than the first.
Oh,
Dan, you're
American made.
showing what extremism is called. Like this is why that we have so much division in this country, because there is this extreme side on both ways.
Oh, I didn't do that.
this is
I
really
did it. We're proud of Greece.
No, here we're talking about nationalism.
I can be proud of Greece. Greece is not my nation.
But you're pushing me towards hell.
You
Shame
know
on
what?
you.
I tell you what, if it weren't for what happened to Greece, I never would have questioned the EU or supported Brexit.
Yeah,
Brexit was amazing.
we
Because
were
I
supporting
don't want what
Greg.
happened to Greece to happen to England.
It's
And
the
then all
same
my
people. It's the
friends
same
were
people,
like
Terry.
freaking out. They were
It,
like, "Oh my God, the sky's falling! Brexit happened. We're gonna get."
All of Europe already drank the Kool-Aid though, Terry. Like England is gone.
Well, I mean, like England, no, is not in Brexit. Like they're not in the EU no more, but they don't have to have their fish and chips. They can put their fish and chips back in newspapers. So that's they got that back. So
Yay,
yeah,
culture.
that was
but
like
Terry,
a
what's
major.
happening? What's happening in Greece? What you are referring? It's actually worse in other nations. They have endorsed Muslims way more than Greece has.
I
Uh,
wasn't even talking about the Muslims. I'm talking about how they ripped off you guys.
I'm talking about what?
I wasn't even thinking about the Muslims. I was talking about how y'all got ripped off. But it's okay.
Okay, so the thing is that we
Talking about
were
nationalism.
we were by like 95% Christians and a very specific genome of people.
Mhm.
So what they've done, the European Union has done, is they've passed a law that says that if we find you in the European Union, although the Geneva Convention forbids us from sending you back where you came from, we add an amendment which says we can ship you back to the country that you entered from. And Greece is the only country that doesn't have borders, it has the sea. So every Muslim that gets picked up in like Germany and he's illegal, they just ship them to Greece. So it is the same people that are creating the problems that Greece is having, and
I'm so
nobody voted for those people.
nobody voted for any of this. They're just taking our lands and giving them away. But anyway, I had yeah
Yeah,
the
we don't disagree.
the subject of Christian nationalism is interesting because I see this word thrown around a lot, but I don't remember ever identifying as a Christian nationalist or even taking up that thing. And I
And I,
agree with a lot of the criticisms of it because I worry that like we'd all end up like if that were to come to pass, then we'd all have to ascribe to the same kind of set of Christian beliefs, and that's just not what America's founded on.
do y'all remember us ever saying a word about abortion?
Do we
Abortion?
what?
Dan says that we began talking about pro-abortion.
That's yeah, like we've never even mentioned that on this stream, but that's the only defense that they can have. You know, they can be like, "Oh, so you're supporting that?" You know,
Whoa, what?
He
our
said that we
subject
were
here is
talking
Christian
about
nationalism.
pro-abortion. Like,
I think he's just I don't think he's saying that we were saying that. He's saying that the Christian nationalist thing is a red herring. Let me just try to what I'm parsing out from what he said, and I could be wrong. And he can correct me. I don't think he's accusing you of that. He's saying that when you attack Christian nationalism, it's just you're buying into propaganda that is has that agenda of pushing that other narrative that
he
he's
said, you
describing.
guys went off subject and started talking pro-abortion. That's exactly what he said. Those were his words, his exact words.
Okay. Anybody else delusional around here?
I don't, well, anyway, I'm not.
I mean, I don't know when. I'm gonna go back and watch. I don't think we did.
I think my interpretation, right? But it's all good.
Because I'm pretty sure 3 of the 4 people on this panel believe abortion is murder.
I mean, like nobody mentioned
I
the word.
don't. I don't think it's always murder, but I do think it's always taking a human life, and that isn't always murder. There's circumstances where it's not murder,
If you're
but
talking about like cases where it's health risk to the mother, I would agree
yeah.
with you.
And I would think that's kind of like one of those gray areas where
It hurts either way.
yeah.
It's going to be a loss of life one way or the other.
But yeah, I think killing is maybe a better term. But
Yeah, but we didn't even bring it up. I mean, like you know what,
Right.
like
glad
I
we could
understand
talk about abortion.
everybody's opposed to murder, which I even don't even have a real. I don't have this like I don't my abortion position doesn't match that of most people on the left either. But we didn't say the word. We didn't say anything about that word. I don't know. I feel like Dan's not listening to us.
I think yeah, I do agree with Dan that like this Christian nationalism thing is kind of a when people talk about it, or it's so easy to get accused of being a Christian nationalist if you're just like for your nation and a Christian and you vote your values, which is what every good American should do. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
there
I
is a
mean,
there is a group though of people like that are doing that, trying to do that. And I
sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's people that are more organized than others, and people that are in organizations that have specific, goals. I think though, like, it's tough because like it's something that you can get accused of very easily if you're just like, you know,
yes,
normal. Because I think it's another. I mean, it's yeah. I don't. I'm not into the whole Christian nationalist thing. I'm not trying to build that nation on earth, I guess, as it were. I
I
like the
want
way my nation is set up, and I want to, as a conservative, I guess, maintain uh, the Constitution and what we've built so far as a nation. So,
I agree.
Very well said, Terry. Achilles, you must be away from the computer because you have not caught any of these comments from President Dan. Dan is really ripping into us. I think there's a good chance we get fired tonight.
The question is, do I want to?
Does Dan want me to get down off the stage and he can have my spot?
No, I think Dan is still trying to come home.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
this comment from Bobby Washington 2926, I completely agree with you. A
Amen.
Christian's loyalty is to Christ and not any nation. You cannot have two masters.
But I do think you can be a Christian and be a patriotic American. I do believe that. I mean, I do believe that. I think that there are a lot of Christians who are patriotic Americans. I don't think you can, like, you shouldn't worship, you know, but you can be a good citizen to both camps. Um,
I disagree. And the reason I disagree is because you have seen too, I'm sure, Robin, that always accompanied with patriotism usually comes an entrenchment in either the left or the right. And both the far left and the far right are toxic. And the positions teach you and brainwash you through broadcasting and news networks that you have to hate the opposite. If you're left, you have to hate the right, and if you're right, you have to hate the left, and it usually just grows stronger and stronger. But when you're in the Christian army, when you're a servant and a soldier for Christ, you are told to love your enemies. And it comes to a time where you go to church and you're told to love your enemies, and then you go watch Fox News and you're told to hate your enemies, and you're in a position to where you can no longer play both sides. It's like the story of the guy who was stuck in the Civil War, and he wanted to be on both sides. So he wore gray pants and blue bottoms, and on the top he was shot to death from the Confederates, and on the bottom he was shot to death by the Yankees. You just end up with two enemies. You can't serve two masters.
I don't know what to add, guys. I mean, I don't know. There are some people in the audience that they just don't like hearing what I have to say, so I'm backing out a little bit, listening to you guys.
yeah, Dan's not happy. Nobody even did. Y'all say y'all were going to vote for the left? Like I didn't hear Stephen ever say that. I
I
don't.
actually will never vote again. So
Stephen
no.
did not say this. Me, yeah, but like you can say whatever you want about me, but that globalist antichrist show, I think Dan has lost his mind. Actually,
I
Yeah,
think
and
Dan is tender because of the show I did on the Sabbath.
no, because we're picking on Trump. Like it hurt his feelings over Trump. He's mentioned Trump every time, and like Trump, Dan, you know,
I love Dan, but Trump sucks.
I mean, Trump, like, have you looked at the Epstein file releases? Yeah, we did
I'm
start.
I'm not even going down that road. Like
Is
in
it
my opinion as a
because
Christian, there is plenty of reason to not care for him without adding that.
yeah, really, like
Trump's doing amazing?
it doesn't even it doesn't like you don't need them. You don't need those files.
Why does it nobody care that he's in the Epstein files? Like,
Yeah,
why does it
why
nobody
not? Like
care?
the thing, the thing is that there are so many people in there. They just those people don't see left and right.
We're not
Their
talking about
mind,
left and right. Like I thought both sides were against
right?
pedophilia.
Don't say the word, but yes, yes.
No,
Supposedly both
okay,
sides should
say
be
the word.
against that, but those that have been in that plane, they don't see the world in terms of left and right at all. But they have you, viewer, seeing the world in terms of left and right, and they're laughing at you while they're uh, having a
Yes,
blast.
Look, can I just say before Dan comes, If you're asking yourself, is President Trump a Christian? Ask yourself these questions. Does he have joy? Does he have peace? Does he have patience? Does he have kindness? Does he have goodness? Does he have self control? Does he have any of the fruits of the Spirit? And then ask yourself, okay, is he prideful? Is he haughty? Is he, it gets to a point where you don't even have to ask any more questions. If you're honest with yourself, if he is a Christian, he is as baby of a Christian as they come.
Uh,
I mean, for the
I've
guy,
never been so disappointed, like in my own parents or my against stuff, and I've never thought my parents were people who would support a man who was involved in that in the sexual crimes against children, and it's really hard for me, like it's hard for me to see right that the support of this. I thought
Robin, yeah, Robin,
I
you
thought this
asked.
would be the thing that would. I thought this would be the thing that would like be to where nobody could put up with this man, and like I don't understand it. I don't.
And Robin, you asked, how can people ignore the fact that he's in the files like 1,000 different times? I'll ask you another question. How can Christians ignore the fact that he bluntly did not put his hand on the Bible when he was getting inaugurated?
Well, I mean,
How
I
can
don't know that that was intentional. Like, I will say that when you're standing up there getting
you
inaugurated,
had one job at that moment,
yeah,
right?
yeah, but he was like you've got the whole world watching you. You're being sworn, like and so he.
Didn't he have anybody to give him some instructions? Okay, you go there and you put your hand on the Bible and you say this. Like no, he just forgot about it.
Now, also, guys, to be fair, can we let, because Terry is not a never Trump or anti Trumper, she is supportive of our president. Can we try to give her equal time to defend her president?
That's fine. I'm gonna get off here because really, like, I can't stand to see people support this man after what he's done, what we know he's done. He was already convicted of sexual assault against a grown woman, and 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 now with the release stuff. I mean, like, if you think that he's not involved in that, I think that you just are just not paying attention to what's going on at all. And I love Terry. I love y'all. I love Dan. But I'm disappointed that people will continue to support him after what they know about him. And I love y'all. And I'm gonna get off here. Okay.
Love you too. Thank you for coming by, and I agree with you.
Thank you.
Jamie says that he heard Achilles was in the files. I don't think we have come against. We haven't been revealed that evidence yet, but if it is discovered that Achilles is in the files, I'm sure it's for a legitimate reason.
Well, the files is a hoax. They are left propaganda. So don't believe everything you hear about it. You didn't get the joke, did you?
I get it. Yeah, I just
That's what that's
I'm
what you
trying
do. That's what you do when your name gets revealed in the files. Oh, they're just fake files. Are you still talking about that creep?
Terry, you got real quiet. Did we make you too uncomfortable? You're a guest. I think we
Harry,
made her
Harry,
too
Harry.
uncomfortable.
Harry, Harry.
No, that's the weird thing. We can't hear you, Terry. You're unmuted, but we cannot hear you. Is there a separate mute on your microphone? All right. So, Achilles, We don't want to go down like an anti-Trump road. We don't want to do that. We want to keep it to Christian nationalism. Do you think this would be a decent time to break out that video with James White? And it's 18 minutes long, so I was thinking like watch 30 to 40 seconds, stop it, comment, and
Right.
that kind of thing.
Right. Alternatively, I can just start talking about the same thing that is happening in the U.S. happening here.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, because this is not just an American problem. We're
It is
referencing it because most of us on the panels are American.
it is an end times problem. That's what it is. And Christians are being duped. And there are a couple of nations on the earth that have been predominantly Christian. That's why they're getting it. Like you wouldn't fall for something that is obvious. Satan has different baits for different fish.
Okay, I've returned. My mic should be working now.
Yep. Welcome back.
I think when I went and put on put up an avatar, it must have messed with the settings. So
Oh yeah, EV Mux is figgity that way.
we'll figure it out. Look, this is what I'm gonna say. I have a lot to say. I was going off. I don't want to get into a bunch of stuff, but
Well, no, go off. Tell us why we're wrong.
I don't want to tell you that you're wrong to feel the way you feel, but I also think that I don't know all this stuff that Robin's saying about the president. I haven't had hard evidence like to say that he did. I'm sure I believe he's done things that I would find unethical, but so have all of you. So I'm not gonna like. And he also has had much more temptation in his life than any of us will probably ever have to face, given the position he's been born into. So I kind of reserve my judgment about things like that. But in terms of like, I don't have any hard evidence that, well, first being actually convicted of R wording anyone, that's not hard data. I don't have any really good evidence of that. So until I see that, I'm not gonna like judge that either. And I think it's very easy for people to make accusations, but without hard evidence, I don't think we should, as people who don't know and weren't witnesses to anything, make a judgment about that. And I have serious Epstein Files fatigue. I think a lot of people get a weird sexual thrill talking about this stuff, and it's like not anything that I didn't know what was going on anyway. So I don't see why I should spend any time like focusing on, ooh, who are we hearing about today? Who are we gossiping about today? Like I just don't find it productive or something I should focus my attention on as, a woman that's trying to keep my mind clean. Now, if hard evidence comes out that he was doing something so horrible with someone that couldn't consent to do it, then okay, I'll listen. But I'm not getting any of that. I'm getting innuendo. I'm getting rumors. I'm getting hearsay.
So on the 9th of May 2023, a jury found Donald Trump liable for sexually abusing advice columnist E. Jean Carroll in 1996, awarding her $5 million in a judgment. So he has been found liable for sexually assaulting people. That's not hearsay.
Have you actually looked into that case and how fraudulent it was?
Oh, I see. So it's not a matter of you not seeing evidence for it. It's a matter of it not being
I
up to
don't
your
see any
standard
evidence.
of qualification. I see.
I don't see any
I
evidence.
see.
There's no hard evidence. It's all hearsay.
Then why did the jury find them liable then, Terry?
People
Why
have a
did
jury.
that happen?
Aiden?
What's that, sorry?
Do you think every jury case that is judged in the U.S. is good? And like
I think
we have
for somebody like you that tries to carry water for, oh, we need to respect the rule of law, we need to respect authority, we need to respect all these
we
things, but
do.
then all of a sudden when that rule of law finds somebody that you worship as a cult of personality liable for things that you don't want them to be liable for,
I do
then
not
all of a
worship
sudden you're
him.
credulous about the rule of
You're
law and
making
you're
false
credulous about the
accusations.
way that the law
You
is
are a
being carried
false
out.
accuser,
All
and
right,
you can be
guys.
punished for it.
Guys, hold on one
No,
second,
you're
because
carrying
wait,
water for
hold
a
on,
PDF
guys.
file
I'm
is what
not.
you're
No,
doing.
no.
Guys,
What
hold
I'm
on.
doing is not getting sucked into BS. Is what I'm doing.
Sure.
All right, you
Okay.
guys can
Keep
I
you
telling
guys
yourself
can
that.
have. Hey, hold on one second, guys. You can have a
He's a
great
human
back and
being,
forth,
no
but one
greater
at
than
a
any
time.
of us. Although he is in a
Terry,
position with.
stop being triggered. Let the host speak. Let the host speak. Stop
I
being
was just
triggered.
gonna say, you guys can have a great back and forth, but just one at a time, so we can all hear you. So Terry, do you want to make your position, and then Aiden, you can comment.
Yeah, go ahead. Terry can speak.
Aiden's accusations of my position are fraudulent and bitchy.
And they're
Okay,
fraudulent.
Aiden.
And they're fraudulent on what basis? like, the thing is, Terry, right? I get that you're like fatigued over the Epstein files, but like that doesn't take away from the fact that he's all over them, all over the place, right? Undeniably. And that he undeniably carried on a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein that was extremely concerning. At the very, very least, the fact of the matter is that he knew what Jeffrey Epstein was getting up to. It's been revealed in emails that at the very least he knew what he was getting up to and just didn't say anything about it whatsoever. So I just think that this endless water carrying for this guy is just really cringe and it's really un-American. And quite frankly, I think that it's really going to come around and bite you in the rear when this guy is revealed to be everything that he is in fact in the time to come. I think that you're really going to regret that you carried water for this guy and stood behind him the way that you are right now, because not a single person that occupies the highest echelon of American politics has your best interests at heart, and not a single person in the highest echelon of American politics wants to do right by you, the average American citizen. They
All
want to
right,
do
now.
right by themselves and their rich billionaire
All
buddies.
right, let's let Terry respond. That was a long comment to respond to.
That's fine.
That's where I disagree about Trump. I think he's the only one I've seen do anything in any attempt to keep any of his promises he's made to the people that have voted for him in my lifetime as a
Wait.
president.
When she's done, Aiden, can I please respond on that?
Now you want to get in here.
Yeah, I mean, I need to get back to work anyway. I ended up going on a really quick break in order to come in here anyway. So I just wanted to make that statement and come on here really quick and stand against the water carrying that's being done for this guy, this cult of personality that's so obviously been happening right now and is continuing to happen. It's cringe, it's unchrist-like, it's un-American, and I just wanted to speak out against it. So with that being said, thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate you giving me the platform. And thank you, Terry, for saying the nice things you did on my stream the other day about liking and all that. I appreciated that. So you guys have a good one.
Thank you, Aiden. Thank you for coming by. So may I focus on one promise that he made, which I want you to tell me if that's fair, the way he delivers on that promise. But not if you weren't done.
Oh dang, Cecil.
Yeah, Sisal, even an atheist can see that some actions are not being supported by the Bible. And Aiden knows the Bible. Now, he doesn't believe it is God's word, but he knows the Bible. So Trump promised that he will bring down the medicine in the US by 1,000%. The world said at that time, that's not even a number. 1,000% means that you will be actually paying us 10 times the price of the medicine for us to take it. That's what 1,000% reduction means. Nine times anyway, right? Are you listening?
I'm right here. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. So what he did is that he is using tariffs to force other countries, and he stated it that he did it on France, that he's forcing all other countries to raise the price of medicine in their countries, and if they don't, he's gonna tariff them. So,
Oh,
so Americans will be like, okay, now I'm paying the same amount of money for my whatever it is, because you have different names, um, as the same as the Europeans pay. So, do you think that by raising the prices uh, of medicine to another 200 million people or more that are outside the US, is him delivering on the promise he made to the American people? Like, will you be fine paying so much for your medicine if I or my grandmother end up paying the same and are not able to afford it anymore?
the thing is, we, through our payment, have been subsidizing the whole world with what we pay to these companies. So the fact that you all got cheaper prices was on our backs as Americans. And now it's
No, that's not how it is. No, that's not how it
oh, it
is.
so is. It so is.
It's not.
And he's not using it
The thing
back
is that if you
to
read
do
our
to
listen,
benefit from our wealth
Uh,
and subsidize the whole world.
all right, hold up, one at a time. So Terry, do you want to repeat that point, and then Achilles can respond?
I said what I said. I'm not repeating it. He heard it.
Okay,
okay, I
Achilles.
did hear it. I did hear it. So the truth about this is that that's what you are being fed. Just as Germans are, when they pay their bill to the state, which is like through the power company, they're paying like taxes. They have one tax underneath the rest that says, and you pay this amount because the Greeks almost bankrupted us. So every German thought for quite some time that, oh, those Greeks, they're making me pay more taxes. That doesn't make it true. Because if you look at the stats, if you look at the math, that is not what has happened. So the same thing is happening with the US. You're not even checking. Americans, only 7% of the US has passports. You're not going out to see how other countries are living. And if you do, you go to Canada and you're like, well, travel the whole world. I've been to Canada. Try Europe and see how we fought for those rights and how in our constitution the medicine is mentioned and it needs to stay low because it has to do with our right for health. So, because your constitution, you've been fed that it's the best constitution in the world, but you don't compare it to other constitutions, they keep feeding you this. When I lived in the US, I couldn't take how many advertisements you have about medicine. All day medicine ads. Do you have this? Do you have that? Well, that's what you need. Ask your doctor about this. Ask your doctor about that. And then I learned that the reason we don't have that is because we have a very specific law that prohibits company to consumer advertisement. The way those medical companies could sell us medicine was through doctors. They did not have the right for to approach consumers.
Okay, Achilles, that is a lot for her to respond to. Can she go ahead and try to respond to some of it?
Yeah, sure. I don't. I didn't feel like
I think he's proven my point exactly.
just because they're sucking you dry, that doesn't mean that the rest of the world has it better because they're sucking you dry. They're just making more money out of you.
How much do you pay every month for your medications?
Personally, none,
Okay.
because I'm
I
still
pay
young.
I
But I
pay
know people that have a lot of things that
similar condition.
they pay money. But what we pay our taxes, and our taxes are taking care of the expenses. So I don't know why it's not happening in your case. If I were to ask somebody else, they would say, "Oh yeah, because Americans are like dummies," and they're getting away with it. The medical companies are getting away with it.
No,
But
they're
you're going
getting
away. But you're going
as
away from my
much
point here. You're going away from my point here. My point was that behavior the way that he's delivering on his promise that he will lower how much you pay for medicine. Not how much I pay, how much you pay.
It's possible, and we'll see how it works out.
Okay, yeah, in 30 years, let's allow every elderly all over France and Germany and Italy to just die because they can't afford it. Because in case you haven't noticed, we don't have the same salaries.
I don't know that we can say medicine's a human right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Sweden with 5,000 euros average salary can afford their more expensive meds, but not Greeks.
Do you think medical intervention is a human right?
Medical intervention is a human right.
I think, yeah, we talked about this for
Right,
sure.
the right for a well-being and not having your the difference between living and dying being money. Yes, this is a right in our constitution.
Right, but 50 years ago, many things that people survive today, they would have just died.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not saying this is an easy question. I'm just saying it's a difficult question. Um, yeah, I would say, I think just, I don't think you can say that.
Achilles making me love Donald Trump even more. I love that he's sticking it to the Europeans, man.
Well, I mean, yeah, we don't want people to die if there's medications available to save them, obviously. But can you say it's like an innate human right? I don't know. I don't know that you can, to be honest. I
The
like
right.
it. I like it. I like no
So
one
you
to.
think that right? Let me reverse the question then. Because you're saying you don't know, let me reverse it and let's try to find out. Are you saying that your right for life is lower than a billionaire's because he can afford a very expensive cancer treatment and you can't? So he gets that
I,
right and you don't?
yeah, I guess so.
I
Oh,
think that's
so
just
the right is money.
No, I mean, I just think that's just
the thing is, though, a billionaire in your country would get private care. He wouldn't be going on the socialist system to get his care anyway.
The
So this
same
is just
thing with the US.
right, or any other country. People who want people who have money will pay for the best care available in any country, even if they have socialized medicine. So I feel like this is just a
oh yeah.
misnomer anyway.
Here's an example.
I don't like scapegoating the ruling classes. I think that's really
Yeah,
a problem.
I
Yes,
will
you
say
are.
this. There is
Can I-
some criticism in the comment section that we have got away from Christian nationalism.
Yes, this was an example because uh,
I put my
and
country.
I understand how these brands became its own tree, but because the question was, I heard from Terry that he's delivering on his promises, and I jumped in when she was speaking with Aiden, and I just wanted to bring up one promise that the way he's gonna deliver is to make everybody else pay more, and the pharmaceutical companies having a blast about this.
All right. Jamie says that he has an example that he would like to offer. Jamie, do you want to go ahead and give your example?
Real quick. So, like, I think it's a really fuzzy line. I know you're trying to go back to Christian nationalism. I just remember I watched this Joe Rogan episode where he was interviewing Mel Gibson, and he was mentioning how, his dad's like, if I recall, in his 80s or late 80s or something, right? And he was in a wheelchair and he had no energy and he couldn't stand up or anything. And he took his dad to some Latin American country where they don't have rules against stem cells. And he got him some sort of advanced stem cell, sort of cutting edge treatment. And his dad started getting erections again and like could stand up and was way, his quality of life was like immediately drastically improved, right? Like he was able to function as a, more on his own. And it's like, should everybody be able to get treatments like that would better their quality of life, right? Everybody's dying. That's all I was trying to say. Like, it's not, obviously, if you have billions of dollars, you're going to have way more resources to get every possible treatment in the best quality possible. That's just reality. So I mean, like, everybody can't get the same kind of treatment as someone with tons of money. It's just reality. But
So
yeah,
because you brought this up as a very specific question to me, you
uh-huh.
asked me if that is a human right. I said yes. So you are now supporting that the more money you have, the better chance of life you have, and that's just life, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any way around
I
that.
mean, yeah, that's all we. What are you going to do about it?
Ah, now that's a different question. You can fight for it, but you are the last nation on the earth to have unions, worker unions, and any
Are you in
union.
a union?
Because you consider it to be like communism. If a factory that has 200 employees, they get together and they create a union, you think it's communism. It's
Okay.
not like they're fighting for the right to have,
Are you for stem
No,
cells?
pension.
let me address this because again, I don't. Aiden did it. Now you're doing it. You're moving the goalposts and you're strawmanning my beliefs. I've never been anti-union. I grew up in a union household. I support unions. I don't
You
always
ask me
support
what can you do
how
about
they're
your.
used in this country, but I support labor, right? So I don't know.
You could just say that, Terry, without saying I'm strawmanning you and I'm moving the
But you
goalposts.
have
You didn't
different
have to use
opinions,
those
though.
terms. You could just say, oh, no, 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 I support unions. Because you just asked me, how can we change this? How can we, as people, not die if we don't have money? That's all. That's all I asked.
I
I'm
think
not trying to
people
strawman you.
need to earn their lives to a certain degree.
So you believe that the right for life comes from money.
I believe it comes through our effort and work. I think money is a part of that. I don't think money is all of it. It's certainly not even the most important part of it.
Yeah, I definitely could go on saying
Who
how
I
inhuman
think
I think
people
that
who get
is, but you would label me a
productive
lefty.
are going to reap the fruits of labor.
All right. Now,
Well,
one
let's go
second,
back to
because on a
Productive.
happier note,
Let me just finish this point. I don't think people who
yeah.
are less productive than others should have more than those people.
Okay.
what about children, though? Like, do we all agree that children should have health care?
No. Did they now? And here's my argument. And biblical. What did happen under Rome? Bible was written under Rome. I well that the church has fallen down. That used to be everything was in common. You did stuff. So it's a different subject of to me is that government is governments are run by Satan. Satan is the ruler of this world. Of course, God will use them as puppets, like He did all through time. But I because and mainly it's a ripoff. The government is spending. Okay, just homeless California. One example. Somebody brought out the thing, $174,000 per homeless person in California, and we have more now than before. It's a ripoff by thieves. Government is not the answer. Anyway, that's my thing on that.
But Dan, just to be clear, you really believe as a Christian that we should not be concerned about the medical welfare of even children in the country?
Now, you're one who doesn't even vote and participate, so I don't even think you have a right to talk about it.
I do, though,
Because
because I understand the historical reality of hospitals and charities, and a lot of hospitals were started by churches. Like,
correct.
we were the spread of orphanages and hospitals, and these were not paid hospitals. These were Christians offering the care because we understood that the less fortunate, especially children, deserved to have that care.
Now, very good, Terry. Now, if we had a death penalty for people who are ripping off our government to billions of dollars, we do it now. I mean, right up here, we see the stuff, California for sure, but the government itself. But there's nothing. There's no penalty for the crimes committed. And you're saying, well, give them more money because they're going to take care of the kids. They don't take care of the kids. And then again, and here was my argument, because I was, I was working, so I didn't even read comments, and I didn't even read my comments. But as we get going, you guys did get off onto the hate Trump stuff, which was not Christian nationalism. That was my then my arguments that, if you're saying all this stuff, and Robin, I wish she was here, because do you guys, one off the top of the head, Trump is evil because he's in the files so many times? So
No, one of the points that Robin made was, and I'm not sure it was Robin, I think it was Stephen, that even if you'd like exclude the files, nobody's talking about them. All right, so let's leave that out. Let's just take into the actions and how he's nationalizing Christians, and therefore
thank
we
you.
can't escape talking about
Where,
him.
where
It's
are they? I mean,
inescapable.
the left also has told us, oh my gosh,
I don't care.
Westboro Baptist
I don't
Church.
care, Dan.
Wait a
I
minute,
don't
no,
care
here's
what
the
the left
argument.
does.
Wait,
Yeah,
you're
but
interrupting me.
I don't care what the
Achilles,
left does. I don't care what the
Achilles,
left does. I
Hey,
care.
how many people
wait.
are in Achilles? How many people are in West Baptist Church? Those evil Christians. If you listened and you're falling into it, I was thinking, man, I even got, there must be like thousands, tens of thousands of Christians that are out protesting gays being buried, protesting this. 15 people. Westboro Baptist Church has 15 people and a few dogs, they said. Guys, give me your evidence that we have tens of thousands. There's 50 million voters that voted for Trump. What percent are Christian nationalists? And again, the other argument, and this is the second one, is the Bible, is God of heaven for borders, or is he for globalism? And you guys are for globalism.
Wait a minute, hold up. I would like to know which of my positions would constitute me a globalist, because I'm anti-globalist. And then can we let CSAL get her 2 cents in?
Hey, CSAL. Yeah. So number one is that you guys are anti. Now, then be more specific in this thing. So you are for more of the right wing, closed borders. You are for the rule of law. Is that what you're saying then? Because this show, when I'm listening to it, is like, no, all these nationalists, they want borders. Yeah,
I'm pretty
and
sure the word borders was not mentioned, just as abortion was not mentioned, Dan.
Oh, that was a Trump thing. Oh, thank you. I'll do this real quick. So you guys are like anti-Trump, and that was you, Achilles, who accused me of being. See there, Dan's this right wing. No, I can't
I didn't
stand
even
Trump.
say Dan is right wing.
You
I
know,
didn't
you
even
said
say it.
no. What you said is you talked about it, and then you have all these right-wing Christians attacking you, and then you even, I'll apologize. I thought you were throwing me into that group.
No,
I
I
can't
was no,
stand.
I was saying that what you do if you want to put yourself in that group is that if somebody like myself or some Canadian goose that you know say something about healthcare, oh, he's a lefty. Like you can't hear what we're saying, that people deserve, if they worked as a worker all their life, they have the same rights with somebody that inherited $1 billion company, and they should be treated equally. That's what
What's wrong
healthcare
with
is.
inheriting $1 billion
I
company?
know,
What's
I
wrong
know.
with
So
my father and my grandfather being hard workers, sacrificing themselves for their generations to come? What's wrong? What?
You
Let's say
should.
I'm a billionaire. You don't know, right? I could be a billionaire right now,
yeah,
but just because of that, I'm gonna be vilified
No,
yeah.
by
you're not gonna get
Christians.
vilified, Cecil, but
Hmm.
but the other one that wasn't as lucky as you are should have the same right to life.
No, no. Who says who? This
I mean, I don't
my
know.
my only
Jesus.
point my only point is that this world is not heaven. We're not in heaven. In heaven, everything is perfect.
So
This
you're
is.
supporting
Can I
what it
finish
does.
my sentence? Can I please finish my sentence? We are still on earth. Satan is still the prince of this world. Life is a dog eat dog world. That's life. And what we should be preaching is men, do not be cowards. Men, be strong and courageous. Work for your women and for your children. And be thankful for what you have and pray to God for what you don't have. If you don't have enough money for a better insurance or for medical care, work more. I know Mexican men from Mexico that came to the United States with just the knowledge that they got in Mexico, with nothing. And they're millionaires now
Oh,
because they
they're bad.
worked.
They're bad then. They're bad because they're millionaires. Take it
And
away
they're the
from them.
and they're the most humble, beautiful people, Christians. But you know what I mean? So it can be done, especially in the United States. I don't see that. I don't understand the hatred for towards money or towards being rich. What's wrong with that? What that with working?
You're putting words in my mouth. I never said that. I just said that the person that worked all his life as a worker to the
Right.
factory of the
Mhm.
billionaire should have the same rights to healthcare as the billionaire.
That's not
And
real
the
life,
billionaire
Achilles. That's not
is,
real life.
wait,
Hmm.
and the billionaire can pay more, but the other guy can't. So you can improve your healthcare with as much money as you can afford.
Now, if I
That's not
can,
fair.
I've been
Enough.
quiet for quite a while.
Yes, I see you smiling. I see you smiling.
Well, because I even boiled it down more basic than that. I asked, as a Christian nation and Christians who are
Oh,
currently running government,
where's the
should we
Christian
not
nation? Sorry.
should America is a Christian nation and we were founded as one.
Oh, well, I
Um
disagree with that. So,
that's
anyway,
fine.
yeah,
But yeah, I definitely believe we were. And as
were.
Christians in a Christian nation, um a
Is there such
current
a thing
Christian
as a
nation,
Christian nation? I don't know if that
the
I don't.
exists.
United States is one.
You think so?
Yes, I don't think there's another country close to the US who does more charitable contributions and giving food aid and giving
But
all
that doesn't
kinds of
make you a
aid around the world.
Christian.
Well, it stems from our
I'm just
Christian
splitting
values
hairs.
of
Yeah.
giving.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But no, as Christians in a Christian nation, do you guys not agree that we should at least provide health care for children? I made it just specific for children. Dan said no. I mean,
I
do
don't think we're
you
a
make it
Christian
that cut
nation.
and dry, CISO?
The New Testament says, "He who does not work does not eat." So the problem, let me say really really quick.
A
This is the
9-year-old
problem.
though?
Let me say really really quick. Women don't have a problem getting pregnant by anybody and everybody, bringing a bunch of children because they know that we're going to pay for it. They know that the state is the new daddy, the state is the husband, and it breeds a million kinds of evil. No, that's not right. No, I don't agree. Children should get insurance. No.
So
So
you believe we should punish the children because the moms made poor life choices?
No, no, I'm not punishing anybody. Their parents are punishing those children for the horrible choices they've made in life.
yeah, I'm just saying that it's like, and two, if we ran like a Christian nation and our politicians weren't worth multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars, the amount that Nancy Pelosi got because at her $70,000 salary and just has what said 500% better on the stock market, her husband did $200 million at least, dudes. That could that could
Yeah, I love though. I
could
love
help
though.
a lot of people. So the problem is not, I don't see this helping people. And then for Achilles, let's not use the billionaires. I've worked for close to 50 years, and how about if I just have the same health care as they were handing to illegals coming over the border? How about that? I don't care about having the same as the billionaire. He's got more money and he can hire doctors, da da da. But how
All
about if
right.
I just have the same amount of money that was given to illegals breaking laws coming into our country?
All right, Achilles, take it away.
Go, Achilles. Achilles.
I kind of lost my train of thought when what I wanted. Okay, no, I just wanted to say that some could accuse some others that they're very diligent when it comes to the crimes that the other side has committed. But when they see a president who is the first president in the history of the US making so much money out of using his own businesses and making deals with the I'm the president, they don't even see that. They don't see like what's going on with the most Muslim nation of the world, with Saudi Arabia and Qatar, who are completely violating any human right that exists, but Iran is the problem. So they
Oh,
don't see
now, that's
like
right.
gifts. They don't see like gifts of like airplanes. Here's an airplane. Here's a 757 for you with one condition that it's not going to stay for the next president. No, no, no. It's going to be yours. Why? Because when we came to the US as like 200 Saudi Arabians, you took us in your own hotel, and of course we paid. But you know, people don't see that. You're focusing on Clinton, you're focusing on Pelosi. All these are evil, but the other side is not. And all my point that I'm trying to make is that you're getting played
Oh
by
no. So
by
okay,
one that is
let me answer
exactly
that. Then you
like
can
them, by
let me
one that is
answer,
exactly like them, and
let
he
me answer
knows how
that,
to
and
play
then we'll
how to play. I'm done. He knows how to
okay.
play the Christian card, and you
Let's
all have
let me
fallen for
answer
it.
that, and then you can go, Kelly. So the reason I use
No, you know,
Clinton.
I speak for you to hear what I'm saying, Dan.
Oh, I heard you. I heard you, but
I don't think you
oh,
did
you
at
don't.
the end.
Okay, okay, Achilles. I won't say anything back. I won't answer any of your questions.
No, I
I
want you
got it.
to answer
Great,
it if you want, but
great
at
God.
least hear what I'm saying. I'm saying that he is playing you, and you are falling for it.
May
That's what
I
I'm saying. And
maybe
I don't
bring
hate him. I don't hate him more than Hillary. I don't hate him more. I just don't like Christians getting duped like that.
may
Go
I
ahead,
bring
Yes.
any of
I
you.
want to make a small
Go
comment
ahead.
about
Yeah.
I think yeah, we started with Christian nationalism and we got off at a very interesting track and I wanted to
It,
just maybe give my thoughts about why we went on this track and what it's exposing to me. I what I'm seeing right now is that yet again Christians are getting agitated with one another about worldly stuff and I'm this is the whole thing about politics and why it is so easily divisive and why how the enemy uses it against us. So I wanted to maybe take a moment to chill out too, but um I just wanted to
that's a
say
good
that
point.
we
Go
have
ahead.
we had a, you know, we have a two-party system in the U.S. and I've had my opinions about it through life where I think it's pretty fraudulent and a raw deal, but it is what we have. And most people just vote with what is most closely aligned with what they would like to see implemented in a country. So, yeah, I think to be angry at me or anybody else because we voted for Trump is really unproductive. I don't think he's a perfect human being.
Oh,
I
I can't
support
stand him.
him. Yeah, I think he has good qualities too. And you asked about the fruit of the spirit. I totally see those things in him. I also see bad things too. I'm not blind, but I also just don't have it in me to really hate you know.
No, and that's
And,
where that
like
it's but
the amount of
when
people in my community that are polarized about Trump and like go crazy just hearing about him. I mean, Robin had to leave
yes.
because she thinks this is a MAGA thing, and this a lot of people are really. There were two options for president. Okay, like why are you upset that people voted for Trump and are supporting him?
And that's the problem. And so that's
Well, I
what
like
I
I
will.
like that statement. I think that was a balanced statement that I want to hear Christians say more often, and not support everything that he does because they think they're different. That's all. They think he's different. I'm sorry.
Good. So, but that's what I'd push back on because I can't stand a lot of him. It's the fact that it's only people who voted for Trump who are like, and maybe those Christian nationalists, and you guys still have to produce me, 5 or 10 of them at least. But maybe they're saying, oh, if you voted for Democrats, you're not a Christian. But in the nation right now, and even on this show, somebody who supports Trump policies and voted for him, you're probably not even a Christian. And so that's where I come in. Boom. No, draw the line. You can vote whatever. But again, then, and bringing up your thing about Clinton, my stance has always been okay, fine. I don't care if people prosecute Trump. Let's start back, though, with Clinton's, Hillary. Let's start there. But no, you're going to throw Trump there first. And like Robin, which I would tell her is like, Robin, who's the biggest name on the list that we know? Bill Clinton,
Billy,
who is out on
Billy.
the streets. And
Yep.
so, yeah, let's start with Bill Clinton. And I'm
Yeah, no,
fine if,
I see that. I see that the left has
but
focused on
that's,
only him. I see that. I see that as well. I think the right side is doing it as well. You cannot
oh,
be
well, and
supporting.
my opinion is that, again, and it's been said before, I'm not voting for a saint. I'm not voting for a pope. I'm voting for the guy that stopped, and I call it murder. God says killing innocents is murder. Murdering babies in the womb, taking little boys and giving them medications, giving little girls to change their genders, letting
Okay, but once they're born, though, you're fine with them dying because they can't afford Medicare.
that's a lie.
No, I
So
mean,
no,
I
so
would say
show
because I
me a
think you
kid, show
supported
me
what
no, because
Cecil
I
said.
am here. That's a lie, Achilles, because we have, and it may be in the South, but I'm in California again. And like I say, if you can be an illegal over the border, I know illegals never have a problem. There's all the emergency room, and it's
You're
against
cutting
the
out,
law.
Dan. You're cutting out. You're cutting out. We can't hear you.
There's
No, the reason I said that was, oh, welcome back. Can we give us a test?
hello, hello. Who are we talking about?
Okay, it's a little better.
Aiden, my buddy.
Hey, how's it going? I don't have a lot of
Good.
time to be here. I just kind of went on another really quick impromptu break because my manager's pretty cool like that. But I've been listening in, and I cannot understand how when the central figure of the Bible is Christ, right? And Christ is a figure who, in 3 separate gospels, right? You got Matthew 19:24, Mark 10:25, and Luke 18:25. And the one that I was just able to really quickly pull up before I ended up coming in here is, indeed, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of God. And I just can't help but wonder, why would he say something like that? And why would he ask all of his followers to give up all of their earthly possessions? Why would he ask somebody like Matthew the tax collector to give up all of his earthly possessions and follow him? And why would he feel so compelled by that message that he would, without question, just abandon all of his possession? No quibbling about it. No, oh, but I got all of these things because I worked really hard for them. Or, oh, well, it's actually okay that I ended up taking advantage of those people by being a tax collector because the laws in my area said that it was okay. There was none of that whatsoever. It was either
Okay,
you're going to
so
follow me and give up all of your
I'll
stuff, or you're
I'll
not going to
answer that
follow
to
me.
begin with. Yes, it is harder for a rich man. Jesus said it, but it's not impossible. And on the show, it seemed like, oh, all these billionaires, they're going to hell. We don't know that. That's their heart problem. And then the thing with
Dan,
Matthew,
Dan, Dan.
wait, let me
Nobody,
finish.
nobody
Wait,
said that. Nobody ever said that. I tried like 3 different times to explain why that is not what was being said.
okay, good. I missed that. I was driving and working, so
So
I didn't. Oh, okay,
the
good.
issue
Thank
though
you.
is, and I'm glad that Aiden brought it up, is the whole point of this show is that in the altar of nationalism, people forget their Christian values. We just had an argument with Cecil that she was supporting, and I hope she's listening, that she was supporting that if you have more, you have the right to be alive. And Jesus told us, if you have 2 coats, give one to the one that doesn't. But
And is
here
that
I
the
hear
government or
Christians,
Christian? Is that the
all the
individual?
time forgetting all that, forgetting the message of Christ in the sake,
But
in the
but
altar of nationalism.
but Achilles,
So
what if they worked really hard for that second coat though, Achilles? Oh wait, there's not any kind of little asterisk in there that says, but if you were.
okay, so
Yeah,
Achilles,
I don't know if it is in their
so
translation, but it's not in mine.
Achilles. So on that, it is for the Christian, and so I see your point, Philip and Stephen.
Okay,
So
okay.
you think the federal government is
Gotta
Christian?
go.
So
Thanks,
now
guys.
I see your
Thank you.
point. So, but individually, that was only 2 Christians, and shoot, Aiden just left. But so the
No,
other
Dan,
point. Wait a
no,
minute. Wait.
Dan,
Let me
no.
answer the other
But
point
wait,
first.
you said something that is completely wrong. I'm not supporting the government. They belong to the enemy. My point is that I see Christians supporting them and saying, oh, well, that's how it is. This is Satan's land, so I better support what Satan does.
No,
And I'm
that's
here
now.
warning
See
you.
now,
Because
Achilles,
as a
you're
watchman, my
saying no.
job
I
is
never
to
heard that.
warn.
Tell me where Cecil said that. That is
Oh,
you. Then see
just
now
go back
you
and
you're
hear
very
her.
good at catching
Just go
me, and
back
I
and
thank you
listen to
for
her,
doing that.
brother. Dan, just go back and listen to her.
I was listening. She
You just said
said
you were driving, so you were only listening
no.
on.
I got.
Were you?
Was it
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
all right? Thank you to have an antichrist scream at us on the show. So
Well, when we talk over each other, we're acting antichrist anyway, so I thought it was appropriate.
oh, very good. Thank you. So, on that Achilles is that I separate, and it sounds like Seesaw does. I don't know her personally. Maybe she is a tightwad that's stealing from poor people on the streets and stealing the drugs off of the homeless people. I don't know, but I know in my life it's it is my obligation. Jesus Christ told me. And with Matthew, Matthew was a tax collector. They were thieves. Jesus told, I think, the other one, other tax collectors, like, or somebody did, give back everything, or they said no, it was the little dude on the tree. And he said, I will give back everything I've stolen from people. So yeah, Matthew, as a tax collector, probably had a lot of guilt on his conscience. Then again, though, we go into the Bible. Jesus is the one that said, "We will always have the poor with us." So was Jesus being antichrist for letting his the what was that, 10 years worth of oil be put on him instead of giving it to the poor? So there's just a lot in there, and just to be, oh, the government has to do this in California again. Homeless people are growing with thousands of dollars per person.
Dan,
Yes, sir.
that goes for you and it goes for others in the chat as well. Just because you're saying something doesn't mean you are responding. You are avoiding the argument. You're avoiding what Aiden and I just said. You're moving around it. You're bringing up other verses.
Okay, ask me then.
I can pick up other verses that don't relate to any of
Ask
this
me for clarification then.
because you know deep down that is not what is happening today. Is not Christ-like.
You're
We
speaking
were
Greek to
bringing
me.
different examples to show you that, and you will defend the world because you want to defend
I'm
your
not
country.
defending the world.
I have
You
I'm
are defending the
anti-world.
world that you shouldn't because you want to defend your country. And I'm not gonna
No,
say that
that's a
your
lie,
country
Achilles. You're
is not
lying
being
right now.
attacked. Wait.
You're lying, though.
I'm not saying that your country is not being attacked. It is being attacked, but it is not being attacked from the outside. Your greatest enemy to your Christian heart is from the inside and is making things that are anti-Christian and turning you as well. Not you personally. I mean, a viewer that just won't see.
You're talking to me, Achilles, and I'm the one being turned. And I'm thank you because you know me.
And
But
I'm just
again,
trying to make it clear that it's not something that I'm saying specifically to you. I'm just trying to show you that you are avoiding what Aiden brought up, and I continued, and it's
then
been
then
going
then
on.
re-ask it, answer it if I didn't answer it correctly, or if I didn't direct. So what did I avoid? Go ahead.
You just brought up so many different
No, no,
things
no. Ask me for
from the Bible.
clarification. You,
Things have been asked and no answer has been given, or I believe some real bad
say it in Greek then.
answers
Ask me the
have been
question
given.
again in Greek then, if you can't do it in English. If I avoided a question,
no.
ask me again.
Dang. Dang.
Like
Dad, you're such the
5 minutes
best
to tell me I
talker
didn't answer the question. Achilles, ask it again,
sometimes.
and
Ask
I will.
what? Ask what?
You
Stephen,
said I ignored the questions.
I think it was obvious what
Yes.
happened, but
No, it's not
Stephen,
obvious. It's not obvious to me. Can you please answer and ask me
I've been
again?
trying. I've been trying for months.
Okay,
I?
can
We'll
I
try it
can I
again.
go ahead, Terry?
Oh, I
Go
wanted
ahead,
to
Terry.
defend CSAL for a moment. What CSAL backed up what she said from Scripture and from what is knowing what is right and good. So, like, she understands as a Christian living in the world where we face these trials that the way you live has an impact on the life you'll have. So, I mean, I want to put that out there. She said things that were true. And I'm
Okay.
not saying that other people aren't saying true things as well, because Achilles does have, some points about people's heart and not being cold hearted. But I just want to say, like, her position, she comes in hard because she lives hard. She grew up a pastor's kid. She's like, she's plugged in, has been for a long time, and she
One
stayed to God. Like, so she's living her life in accordance with this principle.
one area where I disagree with her though about the medical for children, and I would say this. I would say, as a Christian nation with Christian values, I don't see why anyone would be against it. I understand the scripture about a man not working should not eat, but we also see in the scriptures, both Old Testament and New Testament, an age of accountability. There is a age in your youth where God does not hold you accountable whether you work or not. Same way, if you die in this age of accountability, I believe you're spared. Now, we can all debate on what the age of accountability is, but I think also that we see so much precedence about caring for the little ones. And, we have such an inflated military budget. Like, we outspend every nation on earth combined. And I don't understand why us as Christians would be against supplying medical care, at least for the children, even at the cost of cutting our way overinflated military budget. Like, why am I the bad Christian for feeling that that's the
Well,
Christ like
Not
thing
bad.
to
So
let
do?
here
me
is
just
my
let me just
let me really quick, Terry, because and I was actually tongue in cheeking and because that's why I went off to the corruption. We spend, forget the military, forget everything else. The amount of money that goes for social services for people under 18, you could buy them all their health care for life and everything else. It's about the corruption, and you can't. Well, let's give them another $1 million. Let's take all the military budget and give it to the health care of children. They aren't going to get it either. It's still going to go into the pockets of Republican and Democrat corrupt politicians. So, Terry, sorry. Thank you, Terry.
I was just going to say, as a nation, America does give health care to children.
Yes.
So, I mean, like, would I,
Amen.
would I want that to be taken away? No, I don't. I don't have a problem with investing in the
Thank you
nation
for saying that.
because
Thank you
I
for
think
saying
people
that.
that don't have children that work and pay taxes have a vested interest in having a good populace, good citizens that have at least a certain level of education, are relatively healthy going into their adulthood so they can be a productive nation. That is in the interest of all Americans. And that in terms of taxes, I don't have a problem with investing in children in so many ways. The problem is right now, I think things have to be rebuilt because the system has become so corrupt. And the schools are now just really, it feels like a Democrat brainwashing camp.
No, totally. And that's the thing again,
So,
schools. We're
I have a
getting
problem,
50.
yeah, with
Oh,
what's happening in our school systems to the degree that I think they need to be completely reworked. Because as a nation, it's so corrupt. It's been for years, and I mean, I'm appalled at school lunches in America. Have you seen what they feed kids? Do you remember did any of you go to public school in America and eat that food? Because I did, and it was gross.
Stephen, you're going too
Well, I
fast.
definitely would love to invest in money in the kids. I
No, no,
don't
we
see a
already do
problem with
though, Terry.
that.
We
I
already
know,
do it. It's about, and we
exactly.
have plenty invested, and so it's no. And so then Aiden, and he did make a comment. Oh, we want to hold stuff. Where are we holding it from? Please tell me where there's kids that are denied health care. Walk into any emergency room, they're going to care for you. So I don't get that argument. And then again, Aiden, who is very big on humanism and God bless the human governments, the amount of money that goes into the fund for helping kids, you could buy them healthcare and Cadillacs before that you can do whatever. It's because all that money is wasted, and that's my issue with it, and that's why I think the church and us individually as Christians, um,
Did you cut out? What happened?
oh,
I would
Yeah.
like to comment on this real quick. CSAL, I cannot disagree with you anymore. I am a fourth generation conservative Republican. I've worked for both the Republican National Committee and the Make America Great Again Committee. I have been to Trump rallies. I am not a liberal, but I do have Christian values, and my Christian values overflow into my views on how government should be run.
But now he's anti-Republican, which means pro-Democrat. Okay,
I am
so
anti-Republican,
Dan,
but I'm anti-Democrat
thank,
too.
uh, Dan, do you think there is an absolute atrocity? Put that back up, and then you can read it because you'll do it faster.
Oh, okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry about that, Batman. You hear us?
Hi, Odin.
Oh,
Sorry.
welcome,
Hey,
welcome, Batman.
thanks for having me. Damn, I didn't even get an introduction.
This
How's
is the
Well, I
everyone
didn't see
doing?
your. All you are is
um,
a happy face up there, so I didn't even know who was up there. So yeah, and then I'll address Aiden after this. Go ahead.
um, I just want to read some quotes from a great American prophet, if that's okay, right? Much of you have a lot of respect for him, including myself, despite being an immigrant, right? He wasn't perfect, but he saw what was going to happen in a way, and in many ways, he commented on what we are currently experiencing. So I'm going to read four quotes. I have a bunch of them written down, but I'm going to read a couple of them for you guys. First one is, it is partisanship that serves to always distract the public councils and enfeeble the public administration. It agitates the community with ill-founded jealousness and false alarms, kindles the animosity of the one part against the other, foments occasional riot and insurrections. The common and communal mischiefs of the spirit of party are sufficient to make it the interest and duty of a wise people to discourage and restrain it. In contemplating the causes which may disturb our union, it occurs as a matter of serious concern that any ground should have been furnished for categorizing parties by geographical discriminations, North and South, Atlantic and Western, whence designing men may endeavor to excite belief that there is a real difference of local interests. Here's the other one. One moment. It opens the door to foreign influence and corruption, which find a facilitated access to the government itself through channels of party passions. The alternate dominion of one faction over the other has at different ages and countries perpetuated the most horrid enormities. It leads at length to a more formal and permanent despotism. The disorders and miseries which result gradually incline the minds of men to seek security and repose in the absolute power of an individual. Do you guys know who said those things? That is George Washington. Some of
Oh,
those
that
are what
commie.
he said in his in speeches, right, and other letters that he wrote, but in his farewell letter, he absolutely admonishes the idea of political parties and why the American people should essentially ban political parties. Because now, guess what? This, all of what we're experiencing now, is what he brought up in his letters. All of what we're experiencing, this type of divide, the way how people treat each other, the way how, think about it, right? Doesn't the idea of a red and a blue state bother you? No organization should own or run a state. Your representatives should be individuals. Your voting should be based on individuals and individual policies, right? Your political ideology shouldn't be based on where you live. It should be based on what makes the most sense for you and your country. So I just wanted to share those quotes to let you guys know that the only president to be unanimously voted in as president, right? The only person is against the idea of what we are experiencing now by the two organizations that are political parties and their power. This is not a one man problem. This is not a Trump problem. This is not a Nancy Pelosi problem. This is a party problem.
And thank you for this. And I want to take this back to something that Terry said, and I want others to also understand that the fact that you only get two choices is making the whole thing, is making the decision, the distinction, and the polarity. Because within those two choices is a multitude of different opinions, but there is no party that can represent different opinions. And the whole thing is flawed to begin with, because even if you vote for the third party and it doesn't become like, second, you lose the vote. The whole vote gets lost. And that's not the constitution in other countries. The parliament is shaped by all the votes. It's like 100% of the voting of the people that vote gets separated in a 40%, 20%, and then all the other percentages get a representation within the government. Not the government, I'm sorry, the parliament. So there is a dialogue taking place from 6 or 7 different parties. And you don't get that in the US. So unfortunately, I know a lot of Christians who said, what did you want me to do? Did you want me to vote for the other party? I had no choice. I agree with them. The flaw is there.
So Achilles, what country that has the parliament system is like just woohoo great? I should move there. That we should. What country is that? Greece? Does Greece have a parliament?
Well, look, we live in the end times, right? This is our parliament here. This is the British parliament as well. It's the French parliament. It's the German parliament. But here's the issue. This is where I bring the end times. We have united in this European Union thing that nobody voted for those that run that. So although the parliament looks like a more democratic system to the people, what gets voted doesn't matter because the law of the European Union supersedes the laws of its country. So let's just admit that this is a different way to play different people. In your case, you are one country and they're playing you with a two-party system. In our case, we have many parties, which is better, but it doesn't count. So yeah, unfortunately, no, you don't need to move. I think that we're all moving out of here at some point. Let's just try not to cling on to something of this world in case we get left behind.
Amen.
All right,
Totally agree.
let's let Terry and Jamie get in for a second because they've been silent for quite a while.
And then, but first, Aiden, can you repost that question? Because I can't even remember it now. We let Batman in and talk, and once he said his great,
I think
I don't remember.
would like us to revisit the idea of the fact that it's harder for a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven than for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle.
Yeah,
that famous.
I got comments on that.
I have thoughts about it too.
Does that mean every rich man, no matter what, including Abraham and Job?
And what is a rich man?
That's a general statement.
And what are his riches? Are his riches things of this world, or are they,
God didn't say, Jesus didn't say it's impossible. He says it's harder.
Right.
Right.
Much is given,
right. So
much is required.
So
the temptations are much greater.
It's the love of money that's evil, not
right.
money.
Right. And,
I
and
don't-
So
I'll
there
tell
are.
you this.
So you
And I'll tell
can't
you this.
condemn, but you can't. So you admit that the Bible does not condemn wealth. It condemns. It condemns what?
It doesn't condemn
So there's.
working to make money,
It
but
doesn't condemn wealth. Period. It
yeah,
doesn't.
but it
So
is. But it is hard. Well, no, no, no. I never made that point to begin with. I asked
okay.
if it is part of charity to say that it is you have more rights to life if you are a billionaire than somebody who worked for the billionaire all his life. He
But-
Well,
worked.
define.
no,
Sorry.
I have the
Go ahead.
truth is charity, is it not?
What is what?
That's the truth. It's a hard truth, but it's reality. Telling
It's
people a hard truth is the kind and loving thing to do. In this world, that's the way it works. There's not a country it doesn't work that
yes,
way.
but Jesus
The more
told us
you
to
have,
not be part of this world,
no. This is reality. So
and it's a reality we must escape. So
we
don't
can't
endorse
escape
it.
it until
Don't
we
support it.
pick up the ghost or he comes back. That's reality.
Can you do me? Okay,
Is it?
I'll leave
No.
that
Is it
point.
okay
I'll
to
leave that point
tell hard truth
with
about
your
life
final
that they're
statement.
going to face, or should we
Let's
give
say
them delusions?
let's say you win. I'll leave this.
Pretend.
I will not respond. Can you call Jamie back because I want to bring something up about the needle, and I would like him to hear it as well. Can you
Okay.
tell him to come back? Because I know he loves.
P.S. Lewis in the comments. Sorry.
Hey Daniel,
Hi. Hey guys.
I'm
Well, what's going on here? You guys are like, it sounds like you guys are kind of like a little at odds here.
we were
It
like
has got contentious.
We're having fun. We're having fun.
we were like
You
It was too
having fun,
nice
Terry?
before I
Are you
got
having
here.
fun,
I had
Terry?
to-
I'm sorry for the other day. I feel like I was at fault the other day. I was thinking back about the empathy thing. I was just like, yeah, you know what? Terry's right for getting upset. I'm sorry.
I was feeling hard in the moment, but I got mad. I confronted you, and then I let it go. I forgive. They're no problem. Thank you for reflecting on how it might have hurt my feelings, though.
That comment
That's
is right
nice.
on point, right there, right there. Nice.
Mhm.
Jamie, don't go, don't go. I want to.
He wanted you to hear this point.
Yeah.
There is another interpretation of that statement concerning the camel and the needle. And because I know you enjoy digging deeper into the Bible, I wanted to share that and you hear it as well. So back in those days, every fortified city had a very narrow entrance to the city, so the army could not get in. So you could go defend the city by sitting on top of the entrance and throwing stones, arrows, oil, burning oil, and stuff, right? So the reason, just because that entrance was so small, it was called a needle, the tip of the needle, because like a needle, it is an open door, but it is very narrow, right? So when merchants wanted to enter a fortified city, they couldn't take their camels there. But there was one way for the camel to be able to get into the city. You have to force the camel to kneel. And once the camel kneels to the ground, it could go through the needle. So maybe what Jesus was saying is that there is one way to enter the kingdom. If you kneel in front of God, it doesn't matter how much wealth you have, but you kneel in front of God and not your wealth.
Sure, that's fine. I agree. I've heard that before. I agree with that.
Hey,
amen, brother.
Can I address Aiden in the chat?
You can address this question from Aiden, but then it's for Dan. We'll let Dan address it.
Okay.
Dan or Daniel?
No, you can do it first.
Dan Pazzi, I'm sure.
Another one that
That just kind of popped in here.
Okay, my bad.
Oh, well, let me get this one then. I'm totally disgusted that we spend so much on military, even though they use the excuse, oh, Biden left how many billions of dollars of high tech, and so now we have to $900 billion. Yeah, so they did that. So now they've got all our high stuff. Now we got to spend more money to get the next level. So since now they all have our technology, so no, military is a big sink. It all is. Tell me one. Ask me a question of what part of government isn't stealing taxpayer money. I'd say they all are. And no, military is like, that's top on my list just
Okay, so
because.
let me take that question and drive it deeper. If you were to balance out the Medicare with a military budget, um, would you do that? Or do you think that $1 trillion on military and whatever the number is for Medicare is balanced? It's good because
No,
there's
I
a lot
think
of people that can't
we
afford.
have. There's already enough money that it's being wasted in government. Uh, like I said, and I know the numbers on the homeless because that's here. California is a big issue. Is no, if you gave the money that has been given to that's allotted, you could give over $100,000, at least 50,000 per homeless person a year. So you could give them the money and they'd be out of poverty. They'd make more money than I do. And so, no, it's not that we need more money. We need less money. But we need more prisons for all the corrupt politicians and bureaucrats. And I'll give you one example. And this is, because this is probably a hot thing. We had foster kids. We got a little guy, wasn't talking, but he was history of him. It's been 20, 30 years ago, so no big deal. I mean, it's a big deal, but his mother was blind and deaf in a home, got with child, and the social service that is getting at that time $200,000 plus. They thought it was a good idea because we're supposed to leave them with our mother, leave the child with the mother. They left a baby, and she was retarded too. So a retarded, handicapped person, and after she beat the child twice, they go, you know what? We better
Dan,
take her out.
you can't call it that anymore. You have to say a Hillary Clinton-esque child.
I know. Well, I'll call it a Dan then. So, it had a Dan problem, or she did, and then so we get in our house, and then we had two daughters, and they're a few years older. So and the child was in a corner rocking. And so we have tapes, 3 months. We had tapes that he's talking they'd have somebody come on in to test him from the county. That was great, or state, whatever. And he was then now above, instead of being half of his development for his age with us 3 months, he was above average. And then the social worker, the doctor, whoever he was, over $200,000 a year, decided that I didn't get to analyze him when we brought him into the dependent unit. We're going to have him back into the dependent unit to analyze him. And so I think the driver was even a Christian, because she got back to us like, he's back in his corner rocking. And that's when I left the foster care system, because yeah, I broke the which one is Jesus saying, if you have hatred in your heart? No, this was murder. I'm going to take that dude out. He ruined my son. And so it's like, no, that's government on steroids. That's what I'm against. The money is there. They could have given the little kid tons of money, his own little whatever. No, they ruined him, because they knew if you get a kid 3 times, 3 different situations, you've got him in the system. And so that's not. Tell me the people that aren't getting medical, whether kids or not, the money's there. Then where you should be mad as a Christian is do not steal, which is what the government's doing. The money it is getting is being stolen, since it's not going to the kids. Anyway, there's my my rant.
Dan, I don't know if there's been some confusion, but I don't think anyone on the panel would think that the government handles social welfare very well or at all. They handle it terribly. I have seen mentally challenged children handle lemonade stand money better than the United States government handles social programs. But saying that, whether we agree or disagree on revamping the entire system, sure, I'm in favor for that. I'll go back to voting if that was on the ballot. But regardless of how we get there, I really want to push that as a Christian people, I don't think any of us should be like, woohoo, rip the kids off of Medicaid. Like, what? No,
No,
what?
and
That's
but
not Christian.
where is somebody doing that?
I mean, it's out there. If you look hard enough, they want to gut every program 100%. If it hurts the children, oh well, it's their parents' fault. Like the
And
government's
so
not hurting the children, their parents are. Well, either way, we're allowing children to be hurt. We're guilty.
now, okay, so here from the old guy, because I voted for Jimmy Carter, my first president I voted for. Got rid of him quick because
That
he was
was your fault, Dan? Oh, you lose your right to speak tonight.
Oh, well, so he's a scumbag, but as a president. But then, so Reagan came in, and it's like, oh,
Did you
Dan,
mute him, Stephen? Because
no, Dan, you muted yourself.
okay, I mean, because he just mentioned
No,
one of your
I
favorite.
muted him just as a joke for it. But
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're getting fired tonight.
You
Dan wants to fire me. He's gonna fire you now.
no way, I won't fire.
President, you can't mute the president. I mean, you can mute me. You can mute
Oh, there's a
Stephen.
thing called revenge. There is a thing called revenge. Don't worry. No, and so
Oh, you're going through hell now,
with
Richard.
that though, again, is that the money is there. Oh, so with Reagan, it was like, oh, they're doing, oh, he's going to cut the budget. The
I
dirty
can't hear
secret in
anything.
government.
What's going on?
Okay, let me type
You
this
know?
in.
So this stream is pretty crazy. What's going on here, guys? What are we talking about?
We decided to bring this subject up, even though we knew what will happen. We were like, let's burn some stuff today.
Heck yeah.
So it's the question about like how much are you allowed to love your country and still love God?
That is the original question, yes.
I think it's okay to love your country as long as you love God more.
For some reason, I cannot hear the audio.
Okay, so Daryl, this is your friend. You may want to call him and tell him how you fix that same issue because he's having it.
Oh, Christian Pike, you've been looking into that? We moved on to the other thing. No one cares about the Epstein files anymore. You know what's really crazy about the Epstein stuff too? Besides the fact that like obviously the government's lying because they said like there was no trafficking. Like, you know, he clearly was. I think. Oh, I know what to do. I'm gonna mute the offstage feeds. There we go.
Oh yeah, I should have told all of you to do that.
Yeah, that was distracting. No one else could hear it, but we could. Anyway, yeah, Epstein. There's also these weird connections with like Harvard Math Institute and like a bunch of technologies. So like he was part of some kind of intelligence agencies. I guess you guys could take a hint who. You know, it's not an American one. It's Terry's favorite country. We're not going to say which one it is, but the intelligence.
France.
Yes,
France.
yes. A nice little country.
Daniel, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say that I don't think what you did, CSAL, is fair. What B.S. Lewis said did not deserve an 1,800 seconds ban. So that's a good way to spend the first hour that you got your moderator status.
Wait, who just got banned?
B.S. Lewis timed out for 1,800 seconds because he said something about the files.
30 minutes. Okay. Well, if we can all not specifically name the Pepstein files.
Oh, wait, you guys aren't talking? Oh, you guys can't say it?
Well,
algorithm. we don't want to magnetize any attention. We
You
can
guys
call
aren't
them
even
the Pepsi.
monetized.
The
You guys
I
Pepsi.
have
know.
freedom.
Yeah,
Look,
but you
YouTube
can
hates
get
us.
but you can get strikes for stuff. I mean, I remember 2020. I don't forget that. So I'm trying to be
And
careful.
retroact a strike. People were getting strikes even recently for videos they did like 10 years ago. So
So the
we
stuff
just
they're
try to
muting
keep
us
it.
for, isn't that the thing we should be talking about?
Well, the thing is at Proverbs, guys, we try to, as much as possible, keep it Christ crucified. But I think these topics are important because Christian nationalism can very easily go down a slippery slope into idolatry. And where do we draw that line? Should Christians in a patriotic country be extra aware of that because we're so prone to idolatry?
Well, I think we should be against injustice. That's a pretty big one.
I
I
agree.
used to think that was the thing that was going to unite everybody, and I found out how cowardly a lot of people are.
I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
the French.
Go back to that.
Prepared Adventist, can you hear us now? I
hope
don't think
he
you
read.
can hear us yet.
I hope he read the comment.
Bye, all. I gotta go. God bless everybody. That was fun.
God
Bye,
bless.
Dan. Thank
Take
you for
care,
not
Mr.
firing
Fred.
us.
No way. No way.
I cannot hear
Who can
a
I
single
argue?
thing. I don't know.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Dan. Sorry, Prepared Adventist. We are not targeting you. It is Evie Mux. Evie Mux is terrible like that.
Sorry, Jared. I wish I knew how to help.
Wait him. I mean, I can tell him to wait a minute, but he can't hear me.
But
If it's your phone signal.
if we wrap this stream up soon, is everybody going to carry it on at Daniel or Terry's channel?
Oh, I'm not gonna stream. I gotta wake up early tomorrow. I've been up since like 6 a.m. today. I had a long day, but it's been a beautiful day. I got to celebrate liturgy as well, so that was cool. It's the meeting of the Lord. Remember, I was talking about this yesterday, the candle and all that. Like that was today. That was Vespers for today. You know what I mean? Like when the sun goes down, technically it's the next day. So like our Vespers is like celebrating Monday, and now it is Monday. Yeah. Does that make sense? Steven, you should get this. You know when the sun goes down, it's the next day, right?
Yeah, according to the ancient Hebrew calendar, which I think is much more better than our modern calendar. So Terry and Jamie, are you guys going to do a revenge stream where you shred apart all of mine and Achilles' liberal ways?
Oh, absolutely not.
I am.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Jamie say he will.
Yeah, he's down. Jamie, remember that we're friends.
I know. Terry, what, Terry?
As I was saying, I was planning to do a reading stream tonight, so it would be a chill one if anybody wants to like listen as they're kind of winding down for the evening. I'm going to be reading from St. Augustine's Confessions.
Nice. Very Western.
Do you already have that scheduled?
He is a saint even in the Orthodox Church. I'll say that.
Well, it was Augustine that laid the groundwork for Mary's sinlessness. So you can appreciate that, yeah?
Well, we would say that happened way before Augustine. It's just Augustine is like your biggest theologian from the West. So
Show me pre-Augustine Mary's sinlessness, and I'll show you
my faith by my work.
I'll just off the top of my head, shooting from my hip, I'd say St. John Chrysostom. He talked about her being spotless and pure.
Well, Christ's bride will be spotless and pure, but that doesn't. Who's the bride of Christ, Mary or the church?
Well, we don't say that. We would not say that Mary is sinless because only Christ is sinless. We would say that she is spotless and unblemished, but only we reserve certain things for just Christ.
I'm sorry, that comment.
I'm
so sorry.
I think the problem with, to be honest, and
the Reed GJ's Trump.
No disrespect, but I think the Catholic and the Orthodox mistake texts that are meant to be
to speak of Christ's church, and they insert Mary there. Maybe the Orthodox do it less, but
Wait, Daryl's got some ones too. Irenaeus and Clement of Alexandria.
say Mary's sinless. I doubt that.
Well, if they've done
Send
it,
me
they
the
know.
references, Daryl. I doubt that.
Oh well.
I'm talking about Mary having no sin nature.
Well, wait. I've even heard.
In theology tonight. Come
Yeah,
on.
sorry guys. Sorry.
Dang it, Jamie.
God bless.
I've even heard theologies that Mary herself was part of an immaculate conception as well, as in her mother was a virgin also.
Whoa, how many generations do you need a virgin
Not necessary.
before it stops being a miracle?
Not necessary. I just wish the Orthodox Church would have large icons of Jesus in the center of their
We
church.
do. We do. Oh my gosh! Yeah, go into an Orthodox church.
Is the focus.
The biggest icons are of Christ. Every single Orthodox church, when you look up at the ceiling, it's the Pantocrator. It's Jesus Christ, the Savior of the
He's
world.
up there, but Mary's like front and center.
No, she's not number one. Christ is number one. But
Well,
you have to respect his mother. We say that she's blessed for all generations. So
I respect her mother. I respect his mother. I just don't. This is the last comment I make. In all love, I'll just say this. I think Mary is obviously blessed. I would just say she wasn't born sinless.
Well, the Orthodox don't say that she's sinless. We say that she's spotless, blameless. There is something that is special about Christ's sinlessness. It's because he was always conformed to the divine will.
Mary committed sins. Jesus did. That's what I said. God bless.
Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, he had a perfect hypostatic union, but Mother Mary, she didn't do like any sins like that we would classically think of, But you can do sins in ignorance too, and she probably, it's conceivable that she might have not been in complete perfect divine will type of harmony, but she was so pure that she did give birth to Jesus Christ. So, that should be enough.
Do you think that the Blessed Mother ever cussed?
No, never.
Like if she stubbed her toe, she might have said something.
No.
Like I'm thinking, what kind of sins would she commit that are like not that bad or in ignorance? Like
we not thinking of sins like breaking the law. Think of sin in the sense of being in complete conformity to the divine will. Like Christ is God, is man. Like he is the God man. He's the theanthropos. He is the intersection between God, mankind, and divinity. But Mother Mary is a created being. So, like, she doesn't compare to what Christ is.
No,
we would reserve the word just for Jesus Christ in the Orthodox tradition.
Mary ever broke one of the 10 Commandments and that required repentance?
No.
Why are we getting on this?
Oh man, come on!
Can't we do a stream on Mary?
She never would have broke the 10 Commandments. No.
She definitely was keeping that Sabbath.
I mean, that's a crazy question. Like the holy prophets never broke the 10 Commandments, Jamie. Yeah. Like, you think Daniel broke the 10 Commandments from the Bible? He didn't.
I met my left nut that Mary broke the 10 Commandments one time. She repented though.
We can't hear you, Jamie.
Jamie's in the other room, like being
Why do
crazy.
people get so upset at Mother Mary? Like she's the mother of our God. Like, lots of saints have done amazing things. Moses gave us the law, right? But you know what Mother Mary gave us? Jesus Christ.
Yes,
so
that's what she gave us.
She's a created being. She's one of us, but she's the best of us.
Bro, she broke the 10 Commandments, but she repented. I bet a lot of them.
All right, well, we'll find out when we get to heaven if you make it.
Lord have mercy.
I think our position would be, Daniel, and maybe not all of us agree, but for my position, it would be that it's more like we believe that it grieves Mother Mary when she's venerated, because she, above all people who walked the earth with Jesus, would know the the dynamic of the situation, and it's all about her son. I don't
Well,
think she wanted any veneration.
so this is where that contradicts scripture. It says in this holy scripture that Jesus, um, Jesus's holy scripture that he gave to us through his life. Um, what we have in there is saying that Mary would be blessed for all generations, and that is the definition of veneration. So, what veneration means is not worship; it means respecting somebody who is blessed, because she
Right, but when
and
it
Christ.
says when
Yeah,
it
go
says
ahead.
be called blessed of all generations, that's because she literally birthed Jesus Christ and was impregnated by being overshadowed by the Holy Spirit. That's why she's blessed. It's not that she's blessed because we're supposed to venerate her now. Again, why is she blessed? She's blessed because of the Son. It always goes back to the Son.
By calling her blessed, you're venerating her.
Blessed does not mean she's sinless. It
Okay,
just
we're
means
talking
she's
about two different things at this point. But when you said it grieves her to be venerated, calling her blessed is venerating her.
I would totally disagree. I'm blessed. I have an amazing son and a beautiful wife and a roof over my head. That's in no way veneration. I'm blessed. And she was blessed to be the womb that would carry the savior of the world. But,
oh, she's a
you
tube.
know, nations calling her blessed, I don't see the correlation in that leading into worship or what you guys would say veneration.
Jamie is blessed because he no longer has that mustache.
I'm blessed because I married Terry. I like what Stephen said. We are the blessed man because we're redeemed by Christ and because we're blessed by God with mercy and blessings, right? Like Stephen's blessed because he got Krista. I'm blessed because I got Terry. Mary's particularly blessed because she was the vessel of God. But nothing about being blessed means, I
She's a
mean,
human being. She's more than just a vessel. But if you want to compare her to a vessel, compare her to the Ark of the Covenant, because
but
God
here's
was
the
inside of her.
Daniel, saying someone's a vessel doesn't mean they're merely a vessel.
Yeah, you.
Well, can I make an interesting point about what Daniel just said? Because you
What?
said if you were going to compare Mary to a vessel, compare her to the Ark of the Covenant because
Correct.
she held God within her. And I think you're equating that to like the tablets of stone and the staff of Aaron that budded that's inside the Ark of the Covenant. But what's interesting about the Ark of the Covenant is that it's the mercy seat, it's the throne of God. So if we're
Correct.
equating Mother Mary to the Ark of the Covenant, then she is still a seat of Jesus because it's all about Jesus. And as a seat
Correct.
of Jesus, she's just another servant. She's a blessed servant, but she's a
Correct.
servant.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all correct. She is a creation.
Can I make one more point? Because Dan, you posted this, and I thought it was pretty funny.
We
I was
actually
just
call can just 1 second, Jamie.
sure.
We actually call her in the Orthodox tradition the throne of Christ as well. So this isn't anything offensive what you just said. These are all honorifics of her.
I just want to make one linguistic point, and I'll say I was amused by your like Protestant meme of Mary versus like the Catholic Orthodox view, and I found that amusing. It's like the Protestants say she's a tube.
Yeah,
So
okay. So when you called her a tube, you were trying to be funny. All right. You're
no,
trying to
no,
mess
no.
with
I
me
don't.
right now, Jamie.
No,
All right,
no,
you're
no, no.
trolling me. I got
No,
you.
no, no.
I got your number.
I found it amusing, but I just want to point out like a
All
linguistic
right.
issue. Like Mary is a vessel of God, but to say someone's a vessel doesn't mean you're saying they're merely a vessel. Obviously, yeah, she's made in the image of God. She's obviously particularly special because she was the particular means of God becoming manifest or incarnated. So again, it's just like so. My problem with like you saying, "Oh, you call her a vessel," that means you're saying she's just a vessel. No, we say Jesus is a man, truly, fully, authentically a man. Does that mean we're denying that he's God? No. He's authentically, truly, fully human, but he's also God. So saying someone's a vessel doesn't
Okay.
necessitate that you're saying
So
they're
venerate her. Venerate her. Okay,
no, so
good.
it's
We're on
not
the same page.
so saying someone is a vessel does not necessitate that you're saying they are
merely a vessel, just as
Okay,
calling
I
Jesus.
hear what you're saying. You don't have to repeat
Okay.
yourself. So you should venerate her then.
So
So
Jamie,
from our perspective, we're always singing about not just Christ, but everyone about Christ. We're singing about the shepherds that were around Christ when he was born. We have a feast when he has a circumcision or when he entered the temple today. We celebrate everything about Christ's life. So of course we're going to celebrate his mother. This doesn't
the
mean we
real
worship
question
her.
is,
It means that we look up to her as an example, and we believe she's still alive, and that when we ask her to pray to Jesus on our behalf, that Jesus Christ listens. We don't think that she's dead. She's alive in Christ from our
She,
perspective.
well, I would
Does
say
that clear it up?
she requires a resurrection on the last day. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, man, go ahead.
Well, one
Jamie,
moment.
the real question is she the mother of God? Dun dun
I'd say yes.
dun.
I'd say yes.
Careful how you answer that, or else you might
my
be a
brethren,
heretic.
clearly, Jesus is God, and Mary is his mother. So, in the incarnation, in the sense that Jesus is truly, fully God, and also truly, certainly human, authentically both. That's the doctrine of the two natures of Christ, which was necessary to fight heretical ideas. So, yes, I personally think the language uh, um, makes using that language necessary. The problem is when you start saying she's the queen of heaven. I don't affirm that language, but I do affirm her as giving birth to he who is truly God. And so she's not the progenitor. She's in no sense the progenitor of God. So with qualification.
Okay, quick
All right,
question.
hold on. Time
Who
out.
would
We
be
got
the
it.
queen? Who would be the
Daniel.
queen? If there's anyone to be the queen, because think about it, in the Old Testament, every single king had a queen that was his mother, not his wife. So who would be the queen? Seeing
that would be a
you
queen
call Jesus
consort.
Christ our
There is
king,
no queen.
every king has a queen. Just saying,
All right,
and he
guys,
does have a mother.
Guys,
all right, just saying,
I want to let Pike get in on this. So
All right,
can we
yeah.
let him jump in? He
Look
hasn't
at
even said
Mike's
hello yet.
face. He's like, what's with all this heresy?
It was all true, guys. All of it.
Oh, about Epstein?
There's nothing that wasn't true.
We're not allowed to talk about that. I forgot. So do you think that Mother Mary is awesome?
I think that it's true.
I think Brother Pike took a hit today.
Brother Pike is sleep deprived.
I'm not the same man you talked to on the phone, dude.
Yeah, that's why I know you took a hit today.
Oh, I took a hit. I think they ate the people. I'm almost certain.
Pike, did you finally convince your congregation to switch to the real wine?
We're going to do the Kool-Aid thing this Sunday, Steve. We're getting out. We're out. This is
I actually would love, I'm sure Daniel will call me a heretic, and probably Daryl, and possibly I am Batman. And I don't know how you feel about it, Pike. And I know that Bruce is going to think we're heretics, but I would really like to do an online communion because for people like people like Achilles, he doesn't have access to a body of Christ in his area he can go do communion with. Yeah, but he doesn't want to do a Eucharist, and he also can't do it with the Pentecostal church because you have to be like an official member, and he just has nobody. So I would like to do that. I don't know if you guys want to join. None of you have to, but
I
the
would
invitation
totally
there.
not join. Oh
You
my
need to
God.
take up
I respect that.
Steven, I have a question.
I will join.
Will it make me forget?
Forget what?
Can it take the pain away?
I don't know.
What's wrong with going to the church to take the sacraments? Why are we against the church now?
No one's against the church, but it's just not an option for Achilles.
It is an option.
We need to take up an offering so you guys can fly
in
me
what
out to
sense is it
Greece
not
and
an option? Because he doesn't want to?
No, because he doesn't believe in taking the Eucharist. and
Okay,
he
but he
can't
still
do it with the
wants to take it.
Pentecostals.
So he wants to take it, but he doesn't want to take it. I don't understand.
He wants to do communion. Yeah, the Protestant sense of communion.
Oh, all right.
If you
I
don't
hear
take it
you.
anyway, Stephen, I'll participate.
Which is
Well,
just not an
as long
option
as
in
he
Greece.
realizes it's not the true body and blood, then yeah, he can do it, right?
Pike, as long as you bring real wine, you can lead it for us.
I don't actually believe in doing it without real wine.
Well, do it and do it for us. You can help lead it, and that'll help us burn Bruce even more.
I don't know if that'll burn him. Maybe it will. Oh, the real wine, you mean?
No, I think just doing communion online would burn him.
Oh, I mean, I hope that believers all around the world have a spiritual communion every day.
Wait, are you saying my church that does grape juice isn't doing communion then?
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just telling you my understanding of it.
So you don't think we're partaking of the Lord's Supper if we don't
say that?
alcoholic wine?
I did not say that.
I would take Pike's side if he did say that.
Hold on,
Because
real quick.
without wine,
all I'm saying
not a real thing.
is that as a minister, if I'm going to preside over something, it has to be something that I'm comfortable with my understanding. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's fair. So I'm asking you, do you think it's not authentic if it's not real
The
wine?
church that I'm pastoring right now has always done communion with grape juice, and they've done it because they have a lot of recovering alcoholics in the church. I'm currently in communications with the old pastor about resolving this issue in a peaceable way. So I'm not trying to throw any stones. I'm just trying to be true to what I understand.
Right, and I respect that. I would just say, either way, I don't think it should matter because of what the point of it is. Like to say you have to do real wine or it has to be unleavened or leavened bread, like in God won't. Like if you, I would say my opinion would be that from how I understand Scripture would be faithfully in prayerful. So whenever I do communion, I feel compelled to prostrate myself in repentance before I take part of it. But to say you have to do it with alcoholic wine or not, like seems pedantic.
I'll tell you why I feel that way.
The point.
Can I tell you why I feel that way?
Yeah, I'm done.
So I believe, which this will be to Daniel's chagrin, but I believe that communion is a symbolic thing. And so to me, if we're going to take the time to go through these symbolic rituals, we should at least do them with the same symbolism that they were initiated with. And I believe that the unleavened bread has a certain spiritual symbolism, and I believe that the alcohol content in the wine has a certain spiritual symbolism. So it's not me trying to disqualify anybody. It's just me as a minister trying to preside over something that I understand to be correct.
And I agree with you. I agree with you that unleavened bread makes the most sense. Sorry, Dan.
Can I will actually jump in real quick if you don't mind. This is super rude, but I'll just say that we also believe it's a symbol, but it's more than a symbol. It's also truly the body and blood. It's both.
I just want to say, listen, I think, right, we should take Christ's word for what it says, right? He says, this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink from this fruit of the vine from now until the day when I drink it anew with you in my Father's kingdom. I take it for what it is, right? He says that it's his blood. I don't know ontologically how that would be. I don't really even care, right? When he says the bread is his flesh, I don't care how it exists ontologically. I'm just gonna take it for what it is, right? There are certain things that I just accept as essentially being a mystery, and it's somewhat counterintuitive to my common sense. But God doesn't operate based on my common sense or anyone else's, for that matter. And so I just kind of take those things for what they are, and if it's a situation where he says those things are those things, then I sincerely believe we should take them as such. Now, I do understand the caveat of not taking communion, like taking communion in an unworthy way, or giving communion in an unworthy way, because if someone has an issue where it could cause them to stumble, i.e., alcoholism, right? Then I think it's perfectly fine for them to eat, to drink grape juice. But for the same reason, but it's for the same reason. If someone is in an area where water is scarce and they can't get an immersion baptism, right? I think the Lord would accept a spiritual baptism.
No, I understand examples
You
like that. I mean, I try to make sure that I have a gracious mindset about people who are just doing the best that they can.
Can I offer something, Christian Pike?
Sure.
I think that it's going to trigger alcoholics. I think they're being babies about it. They do say that because it's such a small amount of alcohol.
I agree with you, Daniel, but I am working through an established ministry that's been there 27 years, and I'm just trying to introduce my point of view as the new leader as gracefully as I can.
Yeah,
that's
I good luck in it, because I am totally on your side on the
juice.
terms of like, this is what it says in the Bible. This is why we follow it. It's the tradition. We
Well,
follow it.
some people, like I've heard people say before, that they say, well, the wine that they drank back then was not alcoholic, and that's very foolish, obviously. And one of the main reasons it's foolish is because they accused him of being a wine bibber, which means they accused him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would not have done that if it was grape juice.
Yeah.
Hey, do you think you can
Sal's
maybe take
right.
What was that, Rich?
Well, I was thinking if you have a bunch of recovering alcoholics, or however you put it, in your church, couldn't you do what you want to do, but have some like regular juice set aside and find a way to present it and give it to them where they're not tempted by the actual wine that you're giving to the rest of the people?
It's a difficult thing. It's very. I'll tell you this, Rich. In my experience, I'm a lot less quick to judgment than I was before I was in the ministry, because when you're in laity, it's pretty easy to nitpick the way things are being done in the church. But when you have to preside over things and you're responsible and you get these questions and you have to navigate these circumstances, I mean, you try to be as graceful as you can while not compromising what you believe. And it's very difficult at times to navigate. And so I respect people who try to find ways like that for all the willing people to participate. But I do agree with the consensus here. I think it's a consensus that a little glass of red wine would not cause an alcoholic to backslide. I don't think that's true.
Well,
Yeah, and we even cut it
throw
with
this
water
out there
too.
as an ex pothead. I'll admit, I had a problem with marijuana many times in my life, and there's one specific time a few years ago where it was what -25 to -35 for like 2.5 weeks straight. So I was just spending a lot of time inside, barely go out to even let the dogs out or anything. And I had a roommate, who, was a daily smoker. I mean, it was legal. She had her medical reasons to do it. And out of boredom one day, I gave into temptation and had, just one little puff. And for me, that turned into a worse circumstance. Let's just put it that way.
I understand.
Personally, I couldn't control it. I didn't have the willpower. I don't know if those people do, but if you come across somebody, who just takes that one, maybe just another little one won't hurt, and then.
No, I understand. I mean, the older pastor does not disagree with me theologically. He's just trying to be practical because of the membership of the church.
Yeah, right. Anyway.
Well,
Okay.
do you also? Oh, sorry. See you, Terry.
Bye.
Terry, you should schedule your show and post it in the comment section.
Okay. That is a good idea. Thank you.
Yep. Everybody, we're shutting down soon. I'll shut down as soon as Terry posts her comment.
Pike, do you also add water to the
Are
wine?
you asking if I would?
Yeah.
No, I would just serve normal red wine with normal unleavened bread in very small quantities. I've actually never presided over a communion. I've never had the opportunity, but it looks like I will have it in the not so distant future.
Is there any kind of consecration prayer in your tradition?
I don't really have much of a tradition, so it's an interesting thing. My grandfather did communion at his church very rarely, and I'm sure they had prayer over it. I think there might even be one video recorded service that I'll go back and look at. But I mean, probably if it's just left up to my discretion, I'll probably take a few minutes to read the verses that are on subject in the Gospels and in the book of Corinthians. And then I'll probably just have a word of prayer and ask the Lord to bless the people and to help them to take it the right way and to take it with the right attitude. I don't know the answer. This is very new for me.
And do you what are you kind of like teaching them they're supposed to be taking in right now? Like, what's supposed to happen to them? Is there
So
grace in it? You know?
that's an interesting question. I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't know if me and you mean the same thing by grace, but there's a couple of factors that are important to me. Number one, Jesus said, "As often as you do this in remembrance of me." And so a lot of people, when they quote that, they quote, "Do this often in remembrance of me." But that's not actually what he said. He said, "As often as you do this, do it in remembrance of me." Well, in those days, we see evidences of the church coming together to break bread with a very regular basis. So, like, Acts chapter 2, when you get toward the end of the chapter, it says they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and in the breaking of bread and in prayers. And the Lord added to the church daily such as should be saved. And so we know that daily those people were breaking bread. Did it say that they were ritualistically doing a Passover style communion? No, but it did use the terminology breaking bread. And when you look in the verses in Corinthians, Paul's obviously addressing people who had been in the habit of doing communion. So I don't think that is disputable. So the only difference with me and some people is I've heard different organizations will set a different criteria and a different standard for how regularly you should do it. Some churches teach once a week, some churches teach every church service, some churches have it quarterly or once a month. I don't know of any scriptures that specifically instruct us on how often we're supposed to do it, but I know that Jesus said, "As often as you do it in remembrance of me." So I don't really have a plan, but if I remain pastoring that church, I know that I will incorporate it with some regularity. I just don't know what that will be yet.
Okay. But what do they get out of it though? Like, do they get like
Oh,
grace
that was
out of
your
it?
question. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Daniel. So the unleavened bread, as you know, symbolizes his body. And so just like Jesus's vesture was seamless, we're supposed to be one unified body of Christ in the earth. And so we're supposed to be one. All of us are supposed to be one with one another. And so when you partake of that bread, you're identifying yourself as a member of the many membered one body of Christ in the earth and part of that unity and fellowship of the saints, that commonwealth of the saints. And the blood, of course, is for the forgiveness of sins. So when you partake of that wine, you're supposed to have a clear conscience between you and God, saying, "I have repented of my sins and I have accepted your forgiveness." I identify with the forgiveness of my sins through repentance, and I identify with being numbered as a part of the many membered body of Christ in the earth, and that I'm Him in the earth. Just as He is, He said, so are we in this present world. And so I think that by taking communion, it causes us to check our conscience and say, "Lord, have I truly repented of my sins and accepted your forgiveness? And am I truly submitted to the body of Christ as a fellow laborer to work with them and serve them faithfully?" And so Paul warned people. He said, "Don't do this unworthily, because you eat and drink damnation to yourself, because you don't discern the Lord's body." And he said, many people are sick and many people sleep because they don't understand, what this is about. So I do think it's of the utmost importance to emphasize the forgiveness of sins and to emphasize the humility of being one with the body of Christ. So I hope that I would teach something like that, Daniel. I mean, I'm
So
not
it
a great
has
scholar.
Ooh,
does it
can I
so it seems
can
like
I
it has some power to it, and it's integral that you're connected to Christ. Like, you
I
need Christ to be inside of you.
Well, I do believe that if a person goes into a church and just takes communion, or for that matter, gets baptized or anything like that, willy nilly, without a reverent, humble, sincere attitude, that person is bringing judgment upon themselves. I do believe that.
yeah. Hands raised, Pastor
Yeah,
Pike. I
yeah,
got
go
a
ahead.
question.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm going to ask a question, and I'm going to answer the question, and I would like to hear what you guys think. Why did Jesus choose to do communion through Passover? See,
Oh.
did we forget about why Passover was given to us in the first place? Well, to the Hebrews in the first
I
place.
remember. I remember. So it's the Passover, the plague, so you don't die. Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's the
that, that's the idea of
Passover.
Passover.
Yeah,
And you know what's funny, right? The funny thing is that eating that bread gives you life,
indeed.
right? So he takes a gift that he's already given us, right? And he adds to it. right? So by taking communion, right, you are essentially, letting death pass over you. And the clearest example is the bread and wine. The bread is for you to receive life in Christ, right? And the wine is for the remission of sin.
Yeah, the blood.
Well, the symbolism is so perfect too, because we know that the original promise was made to Abraham, the covenant that we've become inheritors of through Christ Jesus. And you'll remember when he returned from the slaughter of the kings and when he offered tithing to Melchizedek, that they broke bread and had wine together. And so right there, when the covenant was being made between Abraham and Melchizedek, when Abraham had finally completely walked away from the land of his kindred and committed to God fully, then all of a sudden that bread and wine was symbolic of this eternal covenant that you and I are still the beneficiaries of today. So I
Exactly.
do think it's very important.
That bread and wine, man.
So, like, out of all the symbols out there, like for us, it's more than just a symbol. It's truly his body and blood. Like, we believe we received the grace of God, which is God himself. God is love. He is his grace. Like, that's the uncreated energies that we can actually participate in, and it can basically deify us, making us like sons of God. Don't you know ye are gods? Remember you were talking about that, Christian,
No, I
right?
don't.
Like,
I don't really disagree with that. Like in philosophy, I don't think me and you are as far apart as we think we are sometimes.
well, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting to. And it's like, out of all these things that you can do as a Christian, isn't that, for us, it's the most intimate thing. It's like, it's the best thing. And it's like, wouldn't you want to do that a lot? Like,
The
you
only
know,
difference I
we
have
do it
with you
every
on
week, but, maybe not that much, but
Well,
still like a lot.
I don't find any fault if somebody did it every day. It's not that I find any fault with them.
Yeah.
But the only difference I think to me and you is when I think of communion as being symbolic, I think that you are the body of Christ. And I think that the grace of God is the blood that washes away our sins. And so to me, I want to take the membership of Christ in the earth and God's grace and opportunity as seriously as you want to take that natural communion. Does that make sense?
Ooh, ooh, hands up
Well,
again.
I would say it's supernatural, but it meets the natural world. Like it, like from of thine own. Like we offer something that came from the earth, and then we turn that grain and those grapes into something new, and then God turns it into something new for us, and we're allowed to like kind of like relive into this moment again. So it's much more than a symbol. It's like it's touching God Himself, and how we can do this in other ways too. I'm not saying there isn't other ways to commune with God than the Eucharist. It's one of the ways, and it's a beautiful way.
Can I just say that I am in terms of the bread, I sincerely believe that it needs to be unleavened for a very important reason. The instructions given to the Hebrews was that they should use unleavened bread, but then they should clear out anything that is unleavened, right? Anything, germs, like anything like that, you would want to clear your house out of all of those things, right? And this goes back to taking communion unworthily. Your house, this house which is your body, right? You need to clean that out first, which means your conscience needs to be clear. This is why I said that Judas took communion unworthily, right? Because his heart wasn't clean.
No, I agree with you. The when you pointed that out to me that day, it made perfect sense as far as Judas being the example that Paul must have had in mind when he wrote that.
Yeah, but I'm saying the practice of having a clean house, right? Because even the temple has to be clean whenever they did that, right? The point of having that is so that whenever you take God, right, you drink his blood, you eat his body, right? When you take that in yourself, right, the temple has to be clean, right? For the same reason, the Lord wants his temple to be clean for him to exist there. This is why he doesn't want any idols or anything evil near it, right? He wants the same for us in that sense. So a certain level of spiritual cleanliness is needed for someone to take
Oh,
communion.
Dean, we're shutting down here soon, but can I
Oh
briefly
yeah,
just
throwing us
quickly
out.
just say
Throwing us
that
out.
we use leavened bread because it symbolizes life, and in the Bible, and I'm sure Christian Pike probably knows this because he's a big studied guy. Is that in the Bible? There's times where yeast is shown as something bad, but there's also times when it's shown as something good. So you can make an argument for both sides.
That statement is certainly true. There are times that it's shown as something good.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to follow this up somewhere? Or is everybody going to bed?
Terry is about to be streaming, so you guys can all go to jump on Terry's stream and bring this up.
I don't know if she wants to talk theology though. She probably wants to run away from that right now.
Look, I'll be honest with you. You guys have pulled me out of the slump of the Epstein files, which I appreciate. There's so much.